Hello, everyone, and welcome here to Roll for Chaos, where we're playing the module Descent to Avernus, we want to, because we have all that hype from the Baldur's Gate games, and haven't played D&D in a really long time. So I figured, might as well for a while. We already had our session 0 2 weeks ago. This is a bi-weekly game. And here we are today with these wonderful and amazing individuals who are part of the cast, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew. I'm going to let you introduce yourselves once more, who you're playing, just to get a little bit of a reintroduction to who you are. And just give us, like, one thought that's on your mind. Something that tells people pretty much where you are at in this game right now. And let me just move my mic there. And kind of just to give people a heads up of what we're doing, where we're going as we begin the game. There was a little bit of a session at the end of our session 0 that just kind of set up where our characters were at and when they met one another, that kind of thing. So without further ado, we are going to do things like we typically do, which is going to be to have everybody roll, or have me roll randomly to see who's going to go first today. And here is our first roll of the day. It's going with 0, 1. It's going with 1. That would be Bennings. Okay.
Oh.
All right, I'm scatterbrained. Lowell, it's your turn. Who are you playing? Give us some thoughts and some positions on where your character currently is, please.
So, right now I'm Bennings, and he just rescued a family very nobly. And he's enjoying some soup, and a weird elf and some other person have stumbled out of the woods to join us. And I'd say the most pressing thought on his mind is they used his pot to make the soup, and he's hoping that he doesn't have to break this family's heart by asking to get his pot back.
Of course.
Like, family heirloom.
I mean, that's perfect. That's perfect.
It's like one of 4 things he has,
I don't want to give it up. I've got people here. Never mind. I don't want to. Anyway, we'll move right along from there to Atomic. You're up next, Wistelar.
Hey, everybody. Wistelar here. I think what's going through their mind was, it was like very much business, right? It was like, something's wrong. Where's my shipment? Where's my goods? Go out. Oh, that's weird. Something's happening. And then it's like someone's talking in my head, and out of nowhere he turns and sees like the most like gorgeous person ever. So I think in his mind, like he's just like turn head. Oh my God, they're gorgeous, and then they're just like walking over to them. So that's all they're at right now. They're like, what exactly is going on? But it's like one of those, I gotta pay attention. Don't stare at them too much. It's like it's all like wrapped up in that.
I mean, it makes sense to me. Completely derailed by the beauty that is Willami. Your turn.
One of your drawings? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. One of my drawings.
I think the tie draws, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Gwen, your turn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gwen, also known as McSherry, and I am playing Willamy, the apparently gorgeous bard. I think she's, number one, very grateful to her squirrel patrons, who have funded the future of this mission in her eyes. But also she is intrigued to be able to, number one, know something that somebody else doesn't know but needs to. And number two, be able to share that information because she's not really good at keeping secrets.
Not good at the secrets. That's going to be interesting coming from the perspective of a bard who's constantly a focal point in conversation. When you have a group of individuals who may or may not break the law at some point in this game.
He's going to know everything and pretty much tell everything to somebody.
So
maybe we can find a confidant within the group that... so she's less likely to tell the guards.
Well, that would be good. To not break things immediately. Let's see. Okay, there we are. All right, next up, Amy, Obsidian, Sid.
Oh, Sid, Obsidian, Sid. Sid just watched all of his new friends, except for one, disappear. Explosively.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that was pretty not great. And then he walked a lot and helped a lot of people while he was walking, and is trying to comfort his grieving friend. And then he found soup and he would really just like to call his mom. He just wants to call his mom.
I mean, I think you mean pigeon or message.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
To this world's version of call his mom.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
Your turn, Clint. Valen. Oh, I never updated your character image. Maybe I can do that on the fly. You go ahead, and I'll see if I can just fix this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm playing Valen, and well, Sid and I were doing our nightly things. And then, bam, things happened, and the city went away, and we're not sure if everyone got blown up or if they just got like teleported or something. So, needless to say, I'm pretty upset because the person that I'm, in love with was in the city when it went kabooey. So, I'm a little sad, but I'm also like trying to figure out what that means. And then we just run across this really blonde himbo going down the going down the street, the path.
I'm sorry, himbo.
Have you seen yourself?
They
He
have
does
a
have a
point.
decent intelligence, though.
My bird's laughing, so he.
Hey, Banks
Anyway.
is a smart enough guy. He can't be considered a himbo. Come on.
So I'm just joking, but yeah, we run into him, and it was kind of like filling things out, and he seemed chill, and we had some soup, and we're figuring out the next time. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. From there, last but not least, Marquise the Inferno.
Hey, everybody. I am Marquise, sometimes known as Party Time Online. Your internet ex-boyfriend, but don't worry, it was mutual, and I taught you to love your smile. However, I'm playing Thulmaris, half-elf rogue, who isn't technically on the scene yet. I was just given a mission last night by Nine Fingers Keen to go pick up a very important deck of cards. And that is all I'm thinking about, is making sure that that deck ends up in my possession and in her 9 fingers.
You don't want to piss off the leader of the Thieves Guild in one of the largest cities on the Sword Coast. No, she's not a good person to make angry. Okay. So from this point, we will jump into tonight's game. I have a little bit to read to you here first, because we are using the module, and of course we'll be modifying things here and there and making our own adjustments to make it our game. But here we go. Welcome to Baldur's Gate, a veritable nest of rats and vipers clinging to the rocky slopes overlooking the Cheonthar River. From their high perches in the upper city, the local nobles, known as patriarchs, gaze down with veiled contempt upon the common rabble in the grimy lower city, which hugs the foggy harbor. The whole of Baldur's Gate reeks of blood, crime, and opportunity. One can easily fathom why pirates and traders are drawn to a place like flies to a carcass. Following the river farther east would eventually lead you to Elturel, capital of the Holy Land of Elturgard, or at least that was the case until a few days ago. The flood of refugees from Elturel has gotten worse since news first arrived that the city had fallen. Everyone is saying Baldur's Gate is next, but no one truly knows who or what has claimed Elturel. The Patriarchs pay a mercenary army called the Flaming Fist to protect their interests in Baldur's Gate, and by extension, the city itself. The Flaming Fist has gained even more power since their charismatic leader, Older Ravengard, claimed the title of Grand Duke a few years ago. Apparently, Ravengard is missing. In his absence, the Flaming Fist has sealed the city's gates to staunch the flow of refugees. No one is allowed in or out. Valen, on the city streets, as you're making your way to Baldur's Gate with some of these refugees that you've had mentioned here in this conversation, you have heard them talking about the events that are unfolding. The fact that they wonder if it wasn't Baldur's Gate itself, or possibly Older Ravengard, who caused Elturel to fall, to be destroyed, to be lost, whatever it is. Because the leader of your city had recently asked Baldur's Gate for assistance, and there was a rather important meeting of the Grand Duke with your leadership. He arrived in town, and a couple of days later, it vanished and was destroyed. This has led some of the individuals along the road to have a bit of fear, a little bit of trepidation about what they might witness as they make their way to the city. If it was indeed the Baldurians who were at fault, or the Flaming Fist, then are they really your allies as you approach them on these same city streets? As you and Sid and Bennings and a couple of the refugees who have come along the way with you on this journey further west are walking up into the city, you can see gathered pockets of refugees, of townsfolk, just kind of holding to themselves, conversing, a bit of frustrations happening. There are armored guards standing at the massive gate known as the Basilisk Gate that are basically just waving people away, telling them they're not allowed into the city. So, as you're walking up, we'll start a scene with the three of you before you actually get there. You're still a little ways off, but you can see that mess up ahead. The gentleman that's walking with you, by the name of Kayla, was kind of speaking to his wife, and he turns and goes, "So you're one of the Hellriders, right, Valen?"
Yes, I would be one of the Hellriders, yes.
Are you not concerned just the slightest amount as we have been walking into the city? I've seen others in attire, such as yourselves, being carted away by the security forces of the city. They don't seem to trust the Hellriders. You had seen that as you had walked into the city. Some people were being arrested. You didn't know what was going on with them, but they did seem to bear some of the signage, the armor and equipment that is usually given to Hellriders. In that moment, you had kind of covered yourself up just a little bit to get closer and figure out what happened. And since then, you're still wearing that garb over top of your actual armor and your insignia. Same for you, Sid. You're hiding you just have a badge because you're only a novice anyways. So you just like put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think, and I'm definitely going to be hiding that and just, explaining that I'm going to not share who I am flippantly as I'm trying to get some answers. So.
Okay. Bendings, you're off to the side, walking along with them. You notice that the refugees here are not being treated with the hospitality that you've heard from your parents that Baldur's Gate typically had to foreigners, outsiders, things like that. And the militant force that's kind of arranged near the main gates that lead into the city over a large, whatever that's called, moat. Basically, it's a river, but, it acts as a moat. Makes it really difficult to get into the city without permission.
Ooh. Well, that's fun. I don't know. I think he's confused right now because he's getting all these new words like Hellrider. He's not sure what that is. The city isn't what he's heard of, and he hasn't already heard too much of the city. So I think this is not overwhelming for him, but he's kind of just like trying to take it all in and piece together what's going on here because this is so far outside of his normal.
So, Bennings, upon walking into the city, you've seen an enormous amount of buildings, an enormous amount of people. It's staggering to you. The small village you come from, the communities you've lived in your entire life, you have seen groups of people get together, but one group here is like the entire city where you came from. And as you've walked further and further into this town and up the river, basically, because it kind of winds around a bit, you've had the greater city revealed to you. You see the massive walls in the distance. You see towering spires and buttresses, a big old castle on the hill. You see so much there that originally you had thought you were already in Baldur's Gate, but now you realize technically you're outside of it in an entire other city that's attached to it, and that staggers you a little.
Oof. How do they do it? How do they manage all these people being in one place like this? Doesn't seem natural to me.
Valen and Obsidian, you two are both there, of course, as you hear Benning's musings.
It's a lot of bureaucracy.
What?
What?
There are some people in this town whose only job is to organize stuff.
Fascinating. How does one come to find themselves in that position?
Oh, well, they're probably just like really good at organizing things and
It,
writing.
if I may, there's been a question kind of at the forefront of my mind for the last couple miles now. How do you and Valen find yourselves in the position of being a Hellrider, and what does that entail exactly? Because it does not sound pleasant.
No, no, but I don't know about Valen exactly. I just came and sort of like volunteered.
So Sid, give me a history check just to see what you know about the Hellriders. Valen, you lived through a lot of it, so the reason they're called the Hellriders, I'll give to you in just a minute. You can explain if you want to.
History.
History check.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad.
So you recognize that it's a scary name. You know, it's an authoritative force that just is so strong they can take down anyone, even in hell. And that's why they can. You know, like when you name your mascot at home, like the Wolverines or something. It's just to
Yeah,
give that
yeah.
appearance of strength to the armies that occupied Elturel.
Right. Yeah, it's just kind of it's supposed to sound a little intimidating, you know?
I find that to be a strange tactic. I
Uh,
always thought
just so Valen can cut in here when he wants to. It's because literally the original Paladin force, the army of Elturel, like fought in a war in Hell, and fought against demons and things like that, and then they just kind of took the moniker themselves and made it into something even better than it was. There was a betrayal a long time ago. Demon deals were made. They used to kind of have a bad name for themselves, and now after winning that fight and coming back from it, they made it into their own moniker. So it's a right of it's like a badge of honor for things that the company's gone through, and now it's just the name for the elite knights that exist in Eltergard.
And as I'm completely just lost my my voice.
He's been sick for like 2 weeks straight, so it's like
Valen, when you're walking, you gotta keep your mouth closed. All those bugs, they'll get in your throat.
Yeah, man, you gotta breathe through your nose.
Well,
You
as
know?
intimidating as the Hellriders seem, I can say it is an honor to be a part of them. You know, we're just a group of people wanting to protect people, and that's the heart. And that's the reason why I became a Hellrider. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
I somehow feel like Pennings isn't entirely satisfied, but that's fine.
He's like, yeah, no, I got it. I got it. I got it.
So as we see all of you walking forward a bit, you can see some of the militant arm of the fist knock someone down up ahead, and they immediately jump in and start kicking this person that gets dragged off by some of their
no.
some of the individuals around them. We then fade scene to move over to our other three individuals, Whistler and Willamy. The two of you are standing there at the wreckage of the cart. Off to the side of that, there is that little alleyway that Willamy, I keep saying it wrong. Willamy happened to see someone go down. And as you were kind of talking about that, you see this altercation occur between the Flaming Fist and the refugees for just a period of time after you've come out here, Whistler. It's like they just locked down everything. Gates closed. Bunch of soldiers had poured out in front of it, blocked off all the people, started like cordoning off the roads, told carts to turn around and move away, and they've become very militant. They've become very aggressive at this point. And anybody who's pushing against them, they are not refusing to immediately get violent if they have to get people to back the hell off. But that does make you concerned. If the roads are closed, how do you get back in town?
That's the primary thought on their mind. Yeah, it was going to be like a "excuse me, I live here" kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guess how far have Willoughby and I got into our conversation? Like, are we fully caught up and kind of like, have we shared information at this point? Or are we still at that like
I'm going to
junction?
leave that up to you. Do you want to have the conversation, or is this an off-screen thing where Willoughby just told you that they saw someone, and the explosion of the cart, someone escaping with some supplies, things like that? What if you want to play that out, we can do so.
I'm good,
I'm good
either
either
way.
way. Same.
All right. So, in the sake of time, we'll just say
It
that
happened
Willoughby
off screen.
already
Yeah,
told
that's
you
gonna be my vote.
what she
I
had
feel like
seen.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah, the commotion I feel like would probably break up whatever was going on anyway.
Yeah. So you're now kind of paying attention to the commotion. So you are aware that the objects that were on this cart were stolen after some sort of distracting explosion, and the cart itself is damaged. There's no driver. There's no blood. Whatever happened, it was a quick hit. People disappeared. From that point on, again, you have the altercation occurring between the Flaming Fist and refugees and city folk that can't get back to work, can't get back to jobs, can't get back to their lives or their houses. And just that alleyway behind you, which you could try to explore and figure out where these individuals went. It's up to you on how the two of you want to take this. So give me what your scene starts like before we move on and have Thul join you.
Oh, Willoughby, could you just give me a brief moment? I just need to see what the hell is going on here, and then we can we can run down that the whatever you saw in a moment. This is just a matter of importance for me, considering I live inside of there, and well, I need to maybe get back in. So just one moment, please. Just and I'm just gonna like try to get to the closest, like as close to the closest guard as they will let me without being aggressive. I'm purely trying to be like, hey, I just want to know what's the boundary here? What's going on? Can I get back in? You
All
know,
right.
what's the situation?
So you start heading back over to speak to them. And one of the fist soldiers there, square-jawed, scarred face, bald head, very muscular, big shield in one arm and a gauntlet, spike gauntlet in the other, with his hand on the pommel of his sword at his hip, just turns and looks at you. Oi, close enough.
Yep, perfectly fine. So I'm a resident inside, have a business and everything else. I see that the city's been seemingly closed off, and I just want to know, can I get back in? Is this just for new people, old people? Like,
There's been an order from the Dukes that we're gonna lock everything down for a bit since Older's missing. All I can tell you is, no one in, no one out, no exceptions. You want more on this? You're gonna have to talk to the captain.
I mean, is there at least a little exception, like maybe like someone approximately my size of an exception?
No exceptions! He bangs his shield once with his gauntlet. Clang!
Yep, very, I can see you're serious. Stay tuned, and I will make my way back to Willoughby.
Alright, so you go walking back in that direction. Thulmaris, you got to the gates on the opposite side of the Basilisk Gate. The moment that it locked, everybody started shutting it down. You saw many, many guards pouring into the gatehouse and start coming out on both sides on the streets, obviously. There's the drawbridge, started ticking up slowly. You have but a brief moment to make it out of the city. And what do you do?
So I have to ask the question:
Mhm.
Is there another way across without me necessarily jumping? Because I'll jump. I just want to know if there's a way that I don't have to do that.
So there is the drop roads. They're very dangerous. So the underside of the bridge design mechanism that is attached to the raising and lowering gates, there's a small causeway that's just on one side that it attaches to as it opens and closes. It's thin enough that most people would never even consider moving across it, but there is some handhold spots for some of the shadier individuals in the city who have had to make their way in and out. It is in disrepair because it hasn't been used in a long time. With the guild working so well hand in hand with the fist at the moment, typically they haven't had a problem. Now you might have some sway because you're working for the guild, but then again, you also are someone who might not want to get too involved with the fist if you can help it.
Yeah. So, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Just gonna like take just a nice run and just say to whoever might be like working the bridge gear, lever, whatever.
It's it's a giant wheel that has a chain attached to it. Multiple individuals using the pulley system.
We'll just like give a simple wave of just like, oh, I have business on the other side. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess. Just
You
jump
run up
across.
the raising drawbridge and like jump across the other side. Give me either an athletics or acrobatics roll as you make your way across the bridge. All right, first death of the session. Here we go.
Yeah, I know. This is gonna be so amazing for me.
This wasn't how you expected your TPK to start, was it, Ty?
No, I absolutely
I believe in
expect.
you.
Oh, there you
14.
go. All right, a 14 does succeed. That was the number you needed to hit. As you rush across the end of it, you lively just leap from the end of the raised bridge and then kind of tuck and roll as you hit the other side, finding yourself surrounded by guards for a moment as they kind of watch you spiral past. One way to get across. Interesting. Thank you for the show. One of the individuals flips you a copper coin.
Oh, we'll obviously catch it and just say, come to the Caress if you ever want a real one. And just like, we'll saunter away.
So you had made it across the bridge just barely in time to recognize they were doing a full lockdown situation. And as you move further into the town, you know you could go by way of the Basilisk Gate to enter back in, but it will be locked as well. So you're going to have to figure out a new way to get back in, something like that. You start going towards the position where the cart was last known to be at, that had the supplies that Nine Fingers was looking for. Moving through the city, you see a variety of individuals displaced from Eltergard and Elturel in specific, kind of milling about in the town. The shops are overrun with individuals looking for refuge to maybe stay in them. You've got people with their children kind of sitting on the street corners in the mud. Some individuals crying, some people fighting. It's kind of a mess. Whatever has happened was big recently. So as you weave among the clamor and the chaos in the city streets, you find that it's very easy to remain unnoticed, as there is so much commotion and so much noise going on right now that if you don't stand out at all, you just blend right in. You make your way over.
I imagine it's more of like Marilyn Monroe turning off Marilyn Monroe.
Mm-hmm.
So just a very neutral person just walking through and observing, but whenever he needs to be on, he turns heads.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, he just needs to observe. So it's just a neutral person walking down the street.
So you move to the last known position of the cart. The cart was owned by the Jasso Patriarch family, a relatively important nobility group of nobles that's up on the big hill that is a client of the guild on occasion. And the last thing you were told was that just outside of a tavern, not too far from here, there was the last sighting of where the cart was. So you travel over to that. You look around a bit. You follow some of the tracks that are out there. And you find in the distance the wreckage of a cart kind of tilted off and off to the side of a bunch of individuals who are passing by the main street. As you approach, you see, well, a Dragonborn and an Eladrin, like standing near an alleyway, looking very suspicious.
No.
No.
Just taking a peek around, does the cart look more like it was a crash or like there was an attack?
Give me an investigation roll. Let's see how much you would know on this. I mean, there's obviously some fire damage. There's some things that'll be very, very obvious to notice. With a 13, you see that how close are you getting to this? Are you actually like walking up to it? Or are you going to try to just closely do it, or just quickly eye it?
I would say kind of a meander by, just slowing down enough to not be like obviously taking a direct interest, but getting close enough to be able to notice things.
Okay. So just casually walking by and just meandering along the side of it, you recognize that there are blast marks on the ground near where the wheels were probably moving through the steel. Well, basically there are these ruts that are pretty consistent for the carts that constantly go up and down this road, and it looks like those were sabotaged.
Mm.
The wheels on both the front and back right side of the vessel have been shattered. The whole thing kind of collapsed to the side, and there is some burn marks across some of the actual vehicle itself. So it definitely looks like an ambush of some kind, designed to look like mechanical failure, but maybe a little bigger than it needed to be.
Yeah. Do I see any markings, footprints, drag marks going towards the alley where I see the two suspicious individuals?
You see a couple of scuffs that would indicate something was dragged, and a small bit of cloth on the ground that hasn't been noticed by anybody else. Is kind of flicking in the wind, but they do both pass right by Wistelar and Willamy.
Okay. I will just wait to see what they do, but we'll just stay in hiding from them.
Okay, so you're quiet. You're staying off to the side as the two of them have moved back. We turn back now to Bennings, Valen, and Sid. The family that's with you just thanks you for the support you've given, for the meals, for the company on the road, and says that we were told that there was a refugee camp on the outskirts here in Rivington, and we're gonna go set up there. It looks like we're not getting any further in the city, and we don't have the funds anyways. If we wanted to go inside and have an opportunity there, but we'll see you around. Thank you again for everything you've done.
I wish you luck and better fortune than you found on the road.
If only more youngins were like you, sir.
Okay, real quick.
Mhm.
Didn't we end with watching the guards beat the crap out of somebody?
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a
Because
dude.
I feel like there's something
No.
more pressing happening right now.
No, these individuals,
Yeah.
upon seeing that happen, immediately stopped, and you can tell it's because they saw that happen. They're like, "Fuck that! I'm going this way instead." You can tell that they're nervous, and they're like, "We're not even gonna try it. If you're gonna walk towards the gate, they don't want to go with you, so they're gonna head off to the refugee camp."
All right.
Well, and at this point, there's really no use to going to the gate because they've shut it off, right? Is that
Currently,
fair?
it's closed down. You could try to get some more information, find out what's going on and why basically all the refugees are being forced on the outskirts of the city instead of getting any aid. But it's up to you if you want to stay back and avoid that.
Bennings turns to Valen and goes, "Has an injustice not occurred? Aren't you a paladin? Are you not obligated to uphold the law?"
Sid's already gone to go check on the guy. He's mad.
All right, Sid's immediately moved towards the Flaming Fist members who have kind of pushed back some individuals.
Bennings is
Would've joined.
right behind him.
Okay,
I would have joined.
and Valen follows as well. Who's gonna walk up to the fist first?
Question.
Mhm.
Is the Fist, are they like the guards of this town, or are they just a gang?
They're basically an army that is being used as the guards for the city.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Does anybody want to take this? Or
I want to say this too, just because like we aren't welcome here, Sid and I. Like we can get in trouble, like or get hurt, you know. Like
Or
so,
get
I think
arrested.
to some degree, we need to be like, hey, like, do we really want to get involved with this? Because we could get really screwed over here.
Oh, I am so sorry. I did not realize that paladins valued their own lives above the lives of others. My bad, Valen. Why don't you stand back over there in the corner and I'll handle this.
Sid is already like, excuse me, did you have to be so like mean to that person?
The Flaming Fist female there, she's got like a mohawk. She's got 2 dark marks under her eyes for basically combat paint. She's wearing loosely fitted combat gear with the tabard of the large gauntleted fist over fire on the chest of it. And
How
she
we
just
can take 'em.
she looks at you and she just says, "Back off."
Oh no! Get him!
I mean, I'm not doing anything, but you seem to be. Can't you just? Well, first of all,
These
why isn't
individuals, and
anyone?
she kind of like points around, interrupting you, have
Mm-hmm.
decided to skirt the law. Right now, we are that law, and we're saying no one is allowed in. You have a
My,
problem with that, you can speak to the captain.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Would you get the captain, please?
Oh, we're Karens. We
We're
are
gonna
Karens in a medieval
stay.
setting. I want to speak to your captain, sir.
We're gonna stay right here where we are, and you can go to the captain if you'd like. He's right outside the basilisk gate. The captains are at the guardsman tower up there. You can go speak with him. His name's Zaj.
Okay. What does he look like? Because I don't know you people.
Well, he looks like an imposing figure that's been around for a long time. White hair. He's about 7 feet tall, if you ask anybody else, but realistically, he's 5'9.5".
If I
Happens to
may
wear full plate
inquire,
armor.
oh, if I might inquire, what law did these individuals be caught breaking?
Oh, they refused to listen to the word of the authorities. When we told them to back off and they were not allowed inside, they complained too much. They pushed back too much. We told them to back off a few times. They didn't do it, so we had to force our way on them to put them in their
Does the
position.
does the gates closing displace these individuals from their homes?
Some people can't make it back to home and family. That is true. It's too bad. It's just a temporary delay.
Last question before we go and see your captain. Have you no dignity in your position here?
I have all the dignity I need. She pats her coin purse.
Oh, I hate her. Oh, guys, I want to fight her. I want to fight her. Valen, are we fighting her?
You see that there are
Sure.
also another 7 guards standing
Whoa.
around behind her. It's not just one person.
Yeah, but aren't you guys like Hellriders or something?
Isn't
No,
it
you-
your
He just says that out
obligation?
loud right there in front of the guard. Is that serious? Did you just say that, Benny?
Please, God.
No,
no.
I did not. Yeah, hey, I
Okay.
said that in American. Benning speaks in it. Okay, look.
Is it not your obligation to take care of the people of this city?
Well,
Oh.
apparently her obligation is her fucking money.
The
So let's
virtuous
not waste time
type.
with her.
So she like turns and looks at the others around her. We have someone here who's a bleeding heart. Oh, boo-hoo for individuals who find themselves out of house and home for only a while. I mean, honestly, the city itself is under siege. Don't you understand? One, an influx of individuals we can't support so quickly and so easily. Two, there are murders going on inside this town. You really want to bring these individuals inside where, I don't know, there's possible cult activity and refugees are the prime target? Do you really think that's a great idea? Do you know what's going on in this city, or have you just arrived here? Are you now asking questions of the authorities in which you have no further information and making judgment calls based on that? I think the answer is yes.
I do not believe an individual needs to be totally informed of a situation to intervene when they see injustice occurring. And the fact that you don't see that point of view speaks volumes as to why you should not be in the position you are.
Oh, you are naive. How old are you? 10, 12? I don't know human years. Anyway, you happen to think that if we just allow chaos to roam free in the city streets, that everything will just work its way out, and that these continual murders and sacrifices will just be fine. The occasional that person that just got knocked onto the ground, a split lip is better than an open heart. I'm sorry. I know my duty. You seem to be confused.
Well, you told us your duty was your coin purse. So, I mean, you just told us that.
And
You told us
isn't
that.
everybody's? I mean, to be perfectly honest,
No,
without
man.
coinage, the world doesn't work. So
Oh my
Bennings
god.
would like to tap Valen on the shoulder real quick. Private conversation, Valen. Yeah.
the two of them kind of turn aside and walk away just a little ways from this.
As much as I would like to wipe this smirk off her face, I don't believe we can take all 7 of these guards, as they call themselves. What are you thinking?
Well, and normally I would be where you're at, but unfortunately, against my better judgment, I need to figure out what's happened with my city. getting in a fight here wouldn't do as well.
Would you happen to have any knowledge of another route into the heart of the city?
Tyson.
Well,
Would I?
one, they did say you could speak with the captain. Maybe he can make an arrangement.
Yeah.
Two, there
Sure.
are some lesser known routes. Being someone who is well respected in the guardsman position that you were from in the Hellriders, you've heard of the occasional smuggler's route that goes in and out. You might be able to
Right.
try to get in touch with someone who could smuggle and find what they do.
I don't believe we'll get anywhere with this captain. If he manages this sort of person and allows them to police the city, he's got to be worse. I'd rather speak with the scum of the city, who probably have more prestige than the guards.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'd be better to go find some different opportunity than the captain.
All right,
Since he's probably more corrupt as well.
Benning starts looking for the one thing he knows: a tavern. Okay.
All right. You see Old's Tavern, not too far off in the distance. You start heading in that direction.
I love it. Yeah, everybody on board with that plan?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
while we're walking there, can I also check for some thieves' cant symbols? Because I can find
Oh.
some seedy peeps.
Give me
There's
a
usually
perception roll.
signs around.
We'll see if you see anything out of the ordinary.
Alrighty, righty. Perception. No, don't do that. Roll the die. Ugh.
That is 13. Not terrible, but you don't see any markings in the main avenues that you're currently walking down. Honestly, if the
Yeah.
Thieves Guild is going to be putting some markings somewhere else, they're probably not going to be right out in the open.
Can I convince everyone to weave through the back alleys, maybe?
Why don't you say that to them?
Hey guys, do you want to look like? Because like, if you're looking for, scum, you want to usually go off the beaten path.
I believe the individual we're looking for will be in a more public setting than a back alley. I'm not sure what kind of person you engage with. However, I find myself uncomfortable with the idea of randomly going through the darkness of the city, of which I have just familiarized myself with.
Well, I kind of know what to look out for. If I can find a certain thing, I can find us probably somebody that knows how to get in there.
And are you certain you will not find this symbol in the tavern?
Yeah.
Then perhaps this is the splitting of a party.
Bennings wants to go to the tavern. He's not going to go down the back alleys with you at the moment.
I'm not saying don't go to the tavern. I'm just saying take the back way to the tavern.
Valen,
I just say we start with going to the tavern first. What's it gonna hurt?
Follow one lead at a time, and if that doesn't work, you have a plan B. Okay. So the three of you start making your way over there. Sid just kind of keeping an eye out and just being like, okay, fine. And we switch back over to the others, Wistelar and Willamy. The two of you standing there. You see the altercation starting to break out. A bit of frustrations and irritation, like coming from the members of both the guard and the city folk, not too far from you. Shouts, "Let me through! This is unjust! What the fuck?" It's just all over the place.
They really are the worst.
You've already had a bad experience with them. Wistelar, you know that the fist is a flip of a coin with just about anybody that you've ever been engaged with. Some of them actively are trying to defend the city and support it because they're the new city guard, basically. And some of them are very barely above bandits and mercenaries that are just out for blood and money.
Well, there are some good eggs in that bunch. It's just hard to find. They unfortunately are the minority, and well, you kind of have to learn to get along with both. You know what I mean? But one is certainly better than the other. It's just, unfortunately, Baldur's Gate is kind of just that type of city where you have to sometimes look the other way, grieve some palms, and try to just hope for the best. But that's neither here nor there. You said there was a shadowy figure that went that way?
Oh,
That's
yes.
probably more beneficial than over listening to this, so maybe we should just, I don't know, follow your nose. You seem to have a good one on your face, so by all means, if you have a lead, I mean, Opal, you're supposed to know something here. Do you know anything else besides just heading down this alleyway?
Opal, like, suddenly the little demon pops out from behind Whistler's leg. He's all right
Come
about
down here, come on.
She's yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I
Don't be
smelled
shy.
the thing. I smelled the thing. I smelled it. It was blood. Yep, that was the thing. That and gunpowder. And it seems to go this way. Points up the alley in the same direction Willemy's been kind of pointing out as well.
Oh, okay, well,
Smells
uh,
blood.
don't mind that. He always smells blood. It's fine. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go? What is your preference?
Right over here. There's a sewer grate, and I believe we need to go into it.
Into the sewers.
Yes.
I still have my good clothes on. Could we?
I mean, they're lovely, but
Wait, you've been?
yes.
You've been in the sewers.
I watched the shadow go into them. So I went down a little bit and saw which direction they went in and then came back up. And then I saw you, and you were obviously interested in something. And you know,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
my person.
How
when we get
clandestine are
back-
you two talking, by the way?
They're not being that
Oh, well,
quiet, it seems.
We're not.
no.
Great. So
And
just
the imp, of course,
At
standing
all.
there up to the side, looks at you, Whistler. Master, I just had this suit tailored and pressed. Sewers sounds like a horrible idea for me.
I know, dear, but we'll both get a nice bath and a nice change of suits, and I'll pay for the dry cleaning. Okay, it's fine. I'll treat you a nice, big, juicy spider. When we
I
get back. Is that
love
okay?
the enthusiasm and appreciate the offer for the outfit. Can I say, though,
Oh boy.
no.
Look.
I mean, you can't beat that logic.
I mean, there's
I
no
know
argument.
this- Whose side are you on?
I'm on yours, but yours involving the sewers, and I'm on my own.
Be seen, not heard. Willemy, which side are you on?
I mean, the squirrels generally say that my right side is my best.
Oh God, I'm going.
I guess I'm on
I
the
just
left.
start walking.
So you're heading towards
I'm
the.
just
Are you heading towards
Yeah,
where
I'm
they
just
were
like-
pointing?
Yeah,
Opal
at this point, it's just like.
Opal grabs a hold of your coattails a little bit as you're walking and sort of pulls them in a way that feels like maybe it's turning into a tug of war a little bit.
I don't want to remind you, but you're in more than one ways bound to me. So I don't want to play that card.
You know what? I can do work for you, and it doesn't have to involve
You want to get in the bottle?
the.
You want to get in the bottle? You
Sure,
want to get in the bottle?
sure,
Get in the bottle.
fine.
Go.
Suddenly in the bottle.
They're in timeout. They're fine. It's a nice spot for them. It's actually I've been before. It's cozy. Much better than the sewers, I might say.
So,
No,
Thul,
some sewers are very nice.
you've
I am
witnessed
just
this.
listening to this entire conversation happening. Fulmaris is fascinated in like a dreading sort of way. Like, oh God, they're gonna go down in that sewer and get murdered.
Probably.
Oh boy.
Probably.
I'm going to just stay back for a little bit just to see if there's anything about them worth, I don't know, sneaking up on.
So you
Taking
stay
from their corpses?
relatively close. Obviously, Willemy saw what had happened and has a lead on where they went. Do you
Right.
trail them at a distance, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just I'm staying stealth behind them.
Yeah.
I'm staying stealth to them more than anything.
Give me a
else.
stealth roll, and I'm gonna have both Whistler and Willamie. Neither one of you are really looking out. There is a lot of commotion.
Nope.
I'm gonna have you use your passive perception to see if you notice anything out of the
Okay.
ordinary.
Never mind that. My passive, I think, is what 11.
Well, your passive's
Yeah.
13 because you have a +3 to your wisdom.
Oh, because of the yeah.
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 Willamie, yours
Yes,
is 10.
same.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Here's the 10. So give us
Indeed.
that stealth roll, please. Thul, you already rolled it. 14. Excellent. You're
Yep.
above
14,
both
yeah.
of them, so passively they don't notice you until they actively start searching
Not
for
wise.
things. Maybe they'll see you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're quietly trailing after them as they walk over to a small manhole cover off to the side of the streets near the edge of one of the corners of the buildings. And which one of you opens it first?
Oh,
Willamie will try and doubtless fail.
Okay. Give me a
let me help. Let me.
athletics roll. please.
I'll give a help action.
Okay.
I'll
There you
try to
go.
grab the other
Take
side
advantage.
Yeah. Go strength with advantage.
because we have the exact same strength. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not that heavy. Well, honestly, you probably didn't need to make a roll if you're just going to take some time with it. But I like rolls.
We'll look
One
at
more
with
check,
advantage.
Wilmy. Yeah, you have advantage.
Oh, yes, yes, that's right.
So athletics roll.
Athletics.
Hey!
Thanks.
It's
Slightly
fine.
better.
Strength is fine. We can just do a straight one with that. But athletics would have been what I would have used. I said strength because I'm so used to using strong in Aether and Steamworks. That's the only reason why. All right. So with the 14, great roll. You lift this thing up, pry it off to the side. It does appear to be made out of metal, maybe brass, or like a mixture of copper and brass. And probably weighs close to the range of like 20 pounds, 25 pounds. It's a hefty lift. You draw it off to the side, and then there is a rickety old ladder with a few rungs that are loose and rusted, leading down into these narrow and claustrophobic hallways, usually used by individuals that access these tunnels to keep them clean and processed and working appropriately. But the very first thing that hits you is the wave, the miasma that is the effluent down below. It is hot and it is gross.
Uh,
I apprenticed
Uh,
under a half-orc bard. This is not that bad.
this is not bad. This.
This is
Wow.
fine.
There's always a sewer
I've
level.
shoveled manure and it was better than this. It's not gonna get any better. Let's just go. It's not gonna get any better. Just come
So,
on.
the
just
two of
rip it
you-
off like a band-aid. Just
Climb down in. Willamie going first, Whistler second as you go down the ladders, and then Thilmaris coming in not too far behind. You know a couple of
tie-
tricks.
Yeah, I tie like a bandana around my face just to be like. We're gonna
There's a
try
small
and
herb
cut
pouch
off
in the
the smell.
front that just covers the scent. It's a normal
Yep.
trick for, especially the Thieves Guild. They all know how to live down there if they have to. So the two of you downstairs, you're inside of this tunnel. It's only about 4.5 feet tall by about 3 feet wide in this section. So it is tight as far as fits go, and the floor is covered in about 3 to 5 inches of gross. So it's a bit mucky as you take your steps. And Willamie, you happen to recognize the general direction the individuals had gone when you had kind of tailed them a little ways, and you start heading in that direction. You take a sharp left around a small corner. There's a T-junction, and you take a left at it. And it leads over to what looks like a pump system of some kind, probably a bilge that pushes some of this stuff out into the bay, into the river, and a smooth stone wall. You know they went this way.
There must be a secret passage or something, and she'll start poking at the walls and,
So you're
and
like,
looking for loose stones.
Give me an
and-
investigation roll.
Nope.
So you start working on this, and obviously the smells, the atmosphere, everything is causing you problems. You end up feeling like a headache starting to come on, and as you're working on this, you just can't find anything. It actually makes you slightly frustrated.
It's got to be here somewhere.
Please just hurry up. Just hurry up. Just please.
So,
It's,
Do you have a bottle that we can put you in also?
So, I think at this point,
First
like
off,
watching the
rude.
failure and the two of them happening, it's like 5 steps, and on the 3rd step, Thule turns on and comes between the two of you and just says, "I think
Suddenly
you naughty
someone's
children."
there.
Yeah, just a very.
Oh,
I think you naughty children need a little bit of help.
are you like the shit fairy or something? What is this? Oh God, where did you come from? Have you been living down here? Why are you clean?
I
Oh God.
Well,
This
a nappy
entire
child
place.
in so long, but for some reason I don't necessarily mind.
Where did you come from? Oh God.
Do either of you have anything of importance on you? And by that I mean something that would identify like who you are / what you are, occupation wise, where you're from.
I have my
what?
panpipes.
Well, jewelry, fine clothes, myself, this bottle, my store key. I got an imp in here.
Yeah, Thelmaris, with your previous experience, Whistler's giving off serious shopkeeper vibes, and Willamy's troubadour. So you recognize that the two of them are probably not associated with anything, because they're also fumbling too much to be agents of some kind.
Well, let's just say you can at least trust me to not want you dead. Since
That's
you are
fine.
trespassing in what I'm assuming is a layer of one of the dead 3.
Shit? Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay. Not bad. Continue.
It's a
I'm
sewer,
sorry.
dear.
I can't. It's just, it's everywhere. And, whew, it's.
You
I
have
keep my-
very nice
keep-
jewelry for someone who's first time in the sewer. I don't believe you should have brought a Whistler piece down here.
You know. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, well, it's always nice to meet someone that knows my work. That's great. You see, they're constantly doing prestidigitation to no avail. Like it is just like
Just
every
clean,
inch
clean,
they're trying,
clean.
and it's just not. It's not stopping. Well, all of these pieces are they're my creation. And I didn't know I was going into a sewer today. I would have worn my sewer set, but
Wait, so you really are famous.
You are
What's the sewer
Whistler.
set look like?
I mean, well, I would like to be famous, but I'm more just like locally famous, you know, like around the block.
I've
And,
had quite a few
this-
clients whose pieces I've taken off in the last year or so. You've done good work. I'm a whore.
Thank you now.
Oh, I didn't wish to assume. I didn't want to assume. You know, I don't wish to. I was trying to figure out what an anti-jeweler was for a second there, without trying to, you know, social faux pas and all
An
that.
anti-jeweler who takes
I
off
work
jewelry.
at the Sharessa's Caress.
Oh, so you're very overqualified at what you do, might I say? But pleasantries aside, do you know how to open the shit door? Because it's still
I would like to try to
we're
find a way to
still
open
here.
the door.
Give me an investigation roll, please.
Would love to. Hopefully I don't fail.
That is a 20.
Dirty 20.
Excellent. So, using your skills, you happen to find there is a small hairline fracture in a section of the wall that is covered in grime on purpose. It looks like smoothed over, that you catch and then release. And there's a mechanism that pops out a section of the wall. Inside of this section of the wall, there is something that looks like a skull and something that looks like an indentation, semi-circular in pattern. It's like an oblong rectangle shape with rounded edges. Something that maybe a signet ring would be put inside of. And you can tell that the stone is ensorcelled.
We'll point out both things.
This means two things to you. One, that it obviously is related potentially to the cult. And two, that you can't pick this lock.
So they basically opened up like a hidden lock cover, basically.
Yeah, so
right?
it just popped
Okay.
out a section of the wall. There's a hollowed in area. There happens to be a skull, a visage, and then there's a spot where you'd put something in.
Son of a bit. Oh, I thought that was. Oh, come on.
So
we got
the
so close.
shit
We got so close.
door is magical.
Whistler,
That packs with this place.
Whistler, give
Do I have
me
anything that's,
give me a
like,
perception
close?
roll, please.
Is it?
You are a jeweler.
Yeah. But I am not a perceptive one. Exactly. There's too much going on. It's just like, oh god, I'm claustrophobic. Is it getting smaller in here? Oh god, is the
So,
shit rising? I
You
think the
look
shit
at
is rising.
this, and you do have the idea that if you knew what this looked like, maybe you could create some sort of facsimile, but you can't envisage it, and you're currently panicking too much, and you don't have any idea how to, like, do this at this moment. As a matter of fact, is the floor sinking? Like, or are you sinking? Is it you or the floor? Things are getting
I'm
higher.
gonna try
There's
something.
heat.
Stand back
You're
real
starting
quick.
to feel a little hotter on the call. There's an illness sensation building a
look,
little deep in the pit of your stomach.
And it's like, we need. Oh god, Eldritch Blast. Boom! I'm shooting the lock.
You blast the door. Everybody, please give me a dex save.
Jesus Christ.
It's like a gem forms in their hand and they just chuck it.
Oh god damn it.
So Whistler
Oh
and
wait, hold on. That's a save.
Oh yeah, we're doing real well.
a dex save. There's a 17,
Yeah.
a 9, and a 13. Whistler, as your hand comes forward and what does your Eldritch Blast look like? Why don't you give us that?
It
real
looks
quick?
it's an empty palm. Then when he opens it, it's like a palm-sized gem
Mm-hmm.
of like different sizes, shapes, and then it just when they throw it out, it basically just like the gem flies through the air, giving like an air trail, and then when it hits, it like explodes.
So as your gem hits the wall and explodes, you see a crackling red lightning kind of light up in the eye sockets of the skull inside the little
it
hollow
works!
in the door, and then beams of light just shoot out,
no.
they hit you, and you and Thulmaris. No, actually, it's just you, because Thul actually went over it slightly. You happen to get hit by this ray of light, and as it hits you, you see like it burns across your skin somewhat. So I now need to roll damage against you. How do we want to do that? I'll just roll it. So it's a D8 damage. 6 points.
Ooh. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't work.
You
Oh,
get
that
blasted,
didn't work.
and Whistler kind of moves to the side, and there's like a burning black scorch mark across the side of their face.
I
God.
shove Whistler up against a wall, like pinning their wrists up above their head. Are you stupid?
I'm like this because it's like right. It's like 3-4 feet tall in here.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like 6 foot tall, so I'm just like. It's like
Yeah. Oh no. I am also over 6 foot, and I have a 3-inch heel. So
yeah. So it's just like.
it's just like leaning up over.
So
Oh
as
my
you're
God.
pushing Whistler back up against the wall, you hear a tick, 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 and you turn and you see the little catch mechanism goes, and as it clicks shut, you hear a.
See, look, it worked. What do you mean? It's. Well.
You're aware in your mind's eye, Thulmaris, that someone was just informed of your infraction.
We should leave, and just like it begins to immediately hightail out of here.
Willemie, what do you do?
She will reach out and kind of cup Whistler's face and perform cure wounds, and then perhaps we should leave.
Okay, give me a cure wounds roll.
If it wasn't
it's
for Willoughby
the-
touching, they would already be running.
There we are. So there's 6 health back. Look
Hey.
at that. So she cups your face, and then your wounds just
I
completely fade out.
lightly like grab their hand with both of mine and just go, "Thank you," and then sprint whip while holding them, like dragging them actively.
All right. So as you were all rushing out of the tunnels, we pop back up to the individuals above ground, moving into Old's Tavern. So Bennings, you're the first one to step inside, and the first thing you notice as you enter into the building, one, it is crowded as fuck. There are tons of refugees. There's tons of people that are displaced and not able to go into town that are now gathered around tables. They're having meals. They're being some of them are drinking too much. But the tavern ambience and vibe is there. There's a nice warm hearth off to the side. There, it's not currently lit, but it looks warm. That's what I mean. There are like flowers around the edges of the roof. There's a small stage to the side where someone's playing lightly on a lute. And there's an old gentleman who's just a little bit hunchback, a little bent over, white beard. He walks over to you. Welcome to Old's Tavern. I am your proprietor for the day. Sorry if we're a little bit scatterbrained. There are many people here. I'm Carson Old. Nice to meet you, a young man and elf person and whatever you are. Not to be offensive, but I just don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I would offer you a table, but as you can see, we're a little... He obviously looks stressed. Out of space. But if you'd like to sit near the hearth, there is a warm spot on the stone there that you could rest at.
Bennings kind of looks around the room and then brings his attention back to the old man and goes, "You have a lovely establishment, and we do not intend to add to the disorder. I appreciate the welcome, but we are actually expecting to meet somebody. So if you don't mind, we'll just be on our way, and hopefully we'll be seeing you again soon to get some drinks."
You're very polite. Thank you very much, young man. If you need anything, just come on over to the bar, and we'll get you set up with something, all right?
All right, now Bennings is looking for the dark, shady corner where there's some guy, with a... Let's find the corner, baby.
So you're looking around in the tavern for anybody that seems to stand out of the ordinary. Currently, it's completely packed with people. You notice a few individuals who look like mercenary types that are there grumbling under their breath. You can see displaced farmers, and you can see refugees from Melterel. You can see that there is what looks like probably the city drunk who sees everything but is always in the tavern off to the side. You don't see anybody that's like some sort of mystic figure somewhere. There are lots of people who don't want to be engaged with the others in the room, but it is far too busy a place right now.
All right, Bennings has a game plan. He's turning to the other two now. He goes, "All right, why don't you begin looking for your symbols while I go over to the mercenaries and see if I can't inquire about a path into the city. Valen, do you want to come with me, or would you rather go with our friend here?"
I'm actually going to go talk.
name?
Huh?
Do you even know my name?
We've been traveling together not very long, and I have a poor memory.
Uh-huh. Bennings. Sid is my name.
Sid. What a lovely name that I'm sure to remember.
I'm going to have a conversation with the tavern keeper. Maybe he might have some information of how to get inside.
Yep, I'm heading to the mercenaries.
And Sid, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna go to the back alley where the secret entrances are kept.
Okay, so you step out of the tavern and you start walking around into the alleyway to see if you can find anything there. I'm gonna roll at random to see who goes first in this situation because we like that sort of fairness around here. Who's going first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's number 3. Sid, you are up first. So we have you leave the tavern, and you kind of look around a little bit, and you find that there is a section behind the building, not too far off, that leads into some alleyways between some of the narrow structures that are part of this area in town. And the first thing you do is you round a corner. Give me a perception check.
Please be better. It's not better.
Not very good. So you're distracted as you round the corner and you start walking into the alleyway by the smell of offal. There is unwashed body somewhere nearby. There is open sewage somewhere nearby. You can see a couple of the less fortunate kind of gathered around an old burning barrel of some kind off to the side. And you see with them refugees also that are now sharing in their meals with these individuals who are displaced. More homeless.
Man, this tavern is looking good right now.
And as you walk past those individuals, the smell of sewage increases more and more and more, and you turn a corner still looking for symbols, and your foot finds its way into open air. Give me a dex save.
Hey, fun. Okay. Dex save. Ability saves. There we go. Maybe. There we go.
Excellent. 15. Nice. So you happen to like do one of those like secondary stutter steps as you realize there's a hole in front of you as you round the corner. Someone has left a manhole cover off of one of the sewer tunnels, and it's just like wide open. Anybody could be harmed just falling into this. The cover is right next to it on the ground.
No, yeah, he's just like, why would anybody? Okay, and
I
he
swear to
puts the
God,
manhole.
you do not.
He puts it back.
Clunk, 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 and it locks into position, now blocking off the manhole.
Just why?
So from there, you look around a little bit and give me one more perception roll. There's something here you might see. We'll see if you get this one.
Please.
No.
Why? Why am I so dumb? Is it my bangs are in my way?
Maybe
Is that-
it's your hair. Your hair's in the way. So you walk around. You happen to see something that, well, maybe it's just a scuff on the wall. It's obviously, no, that's not naturally made. Or that's not artificially made. That must have been just somebody bumped into. So, well.
No,
And
clearly.
you just like walk right past it, heading a little bit further down the alleyway. And we will pop back now to see who goes next. Roll a d4, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be you, Valen. You're up now. You walk over to the tavern keep behind the bar. He looks over to you. Oh, sir, I didn't get your name when you first walked in. I'm Carson, again. Nice to meet you. Can I get you a drink? I've still got some beer in the back, some mead.
No, thank you, Carson. My name is Valen.
Pleasure to meet you,
I'm
Valen.
I'm just seeking some information. Maybe you might be able to help us.
Oh, well, I do have an ear for the variety of things that I hear in this establishment. What are you looking for?
Well, my first question is, do you know what's happening in the city right now?
Well, I mean, rumor has it that there's some sort of unrest in the Dukes, some sort of power vacuum caused by Old Ravengard going missing. The streets are in a bit of disarray, and they're trying to find some murderers. Apparently, maybe a cult or something like that is causing some problems. We haven't really seen much of an issue outside of the gates, so obviously this is some kind of localized thing. So I do know that they are asking people for information they might have in this investigation. So if you know anything, I'd recommend speaking to the Fist.
Would you happen to have any way of getting us inside the city, or know somebody that might be able to help us?
Getting inside the city, I mean, the laws currently state we gotta follow the Fist. I'm sorry, son, but I don't have any roundabout ways. It's just a matter of time, though. These kinds of things tend to come and go. I've got a room. If you need a room, I've got some space. I mean, obviously it'll cost some coin, but you could stay here for a few days until things clear up, and I'm sure you'll get back in the city in no time.
Balin just progressively is getting frustrated because, he's a rule follower too, but sometimes not every rule can be followed. And he just turns away. Thank you for your information.
Oh, you're welcome.
I seem to have to keep looking around.
Sorry, I couldn't be of more help. Hey,
Yes?
you might want to talk to the tailor down the street. Her brother works inside the city, and sometimes she has to get some things through on occasion.
Okay. What is this tailor's name?
Clairwyn.
Clairwyn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I'll
You're
look
welcome.
into this.
So we move over now to our boy Bennings. Bennings, you walk over. This group of roughshod mercenaries all sitting around the table. They're kind of laughing about something. One of them was like, "You see that guy just turn full on roll over?" Funniest thing I've seen in a while. But and then one of the other ones looks over. Sorry, we don't need any more food at the moment. We're good up.
Bennings takes a deep breath and feels bad because he's traveled with Sid long enough that he's like, Are they gonna be okay going down those back alleys alone? Like that's going down through his head right now. He's like, should I have gone with him? So he kind of he's stewing on feeling bad at the moment because he doesn't want to like walk outside and see the fist with sit on a spike or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, how are you gentlemen tonight?
We're good. Did you not hear the part about how we said we're good? We're not ordering anything else tonight. Hard deal. I know that there's a lot of coin to be made, but if you want to keep getting your tips for the night, you won't keep pressing the matter right this moment, son.
I apologize, man. I am not a server here. Actually, I'm just coming through Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate?
That's the city, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I was trying to get into the city. Now, y'all wouldn't happen to know how one might do that, would you?
I mean, you could throw a few punches, knock some individuals down, and make your way over like the kingmaker you are. Or, if you have the coin, I hear some of those fists don't mind trading a pass for a good amount. And lastly, I mean, there is another option. It's one that we're considering ourselves, and that's getting hired. There's someone out there, captain. Not sure his name, but there's a captain out there that is currently enlisting individuals to help with this investigation they have on these cult members in the city. Talk to him, I suppose. Build like yours, he might take you seriously.
Bennings nods. Gentlemen, you've been more than helpful. Thank you. He claps one on the shoulder and says, I gotta go catch my friend. And he leaves the tavern.
The guy like turns and as you're walking away and he grabs hold of your arm. His grip's like iron for a second. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Where are you from, boy?
Oh, I'm afraid you wouldn't know it. Small town, east.
Small town east.
Doesn't really have a name so much as just a collection of people doing their best to live right by each other.
You're about the right age. You got a decent build on you. He like grabs hold of your hand and like goes to squeeze it, intending to see if he can crush your hand. Give me an athletics roll if you wish to resist this.
This is nice. I'm liking this guy.
Give me a strength.
Bennings is like, whoa.
Give me a strength save. That's what you're doing. If you wanna, yeah.
Save. Okay. I don't know where that is.
It's on the main sheet.
Is it on? It is? Okay.
Yeah, go to the main page, and left side is abilities, right side is saves, and you're looking for the STR save.
Oh, okay.
Oh. 22, nice. So he goes to crush your hand, and you return the grip in turn. Oh, you, sir, are the type of individual that has a potential future here in Blackwater. Have you thought about that? He like reaches into his pocket and pulls out a little piece of paper that has like a crudely drawn wolf face logo on it. It says Blackwater Mercenary Guild. You ever thought about working for gold, taking on some of the business that the average person can't manage, can't handle?
Bennings is wary now because he does not want to get involved with this group, but he also understands this is an act of kindness this guy is displaying, and that this type of person probably won't react well to a hard no. So he takes the paper and goes, I had not considered it, but I will give it its due course.
Well,
Thank
someone
you.
like
Now,
yourself could go far. If you happen to find yourself interested, we're staying here for the next week. Come on back by. We'll have a drink. We'll find out if we can put you on a little mission. And then, who knows? Maybe you can become one of the gang.
I never did catch your name, sir.
Clarence.
Clarence, are you of high rank in this organization?
He looks over at the others, and they kind of laugh at you for saying that. Rank isn't so much a thing here, but if I'm the leader of the crew, then no.
I do appreciate you, Clarence. If you might spread my name around as someone who's looking for work and information on how to get into the city, I would appreciate that.
Your name?
Bennings.
Bennings. Do that. If we see you again, hope we do soon.
Can't wait, Clarence. Now, if you'll excuse me. He looks up, makes eye contact with Valen, who's leaving the bar, and he gestures to the door.
All right.
Galen proceeds to follow him.
Two of
Alright,
you walk
perfect.
out and start heading around the back to see if you can find your friend. You actually come across Sid not too far into the alleyways, kind of like looking at stuff on the walls and patting things down. You think you found one, Sid. Finally, it looks like there's a scratch mark in like a UX shape with like it seems to be maybe marking either this is where a drug drop happens or someone was murdered here and you're being warned away from the position. You're not sure which one of these things it is. As Valen and Bennings walk up, you see some graffiti on the wall that Sid seems to be looking at intently.
I think you found something, Sid.
Yeah, and the thing that I found is turn around and go back the way we came, is what I found.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So, as you meet up with Sid, we pop back down to the three individuals who are running for their lives through the sewage tunnels. As you are kind of like moving through the muck relatively quickly, I'm not assuming that any of you have broken into a full-on sprint yet, but you are moving swiftly. Yes, sir?
Oh, he's broken.
You're sprinting?
I have broken into a full.
Whistler is like running through the tunnels. At this speed and at this level of viscosity, I'm going to have to make you make some rolls if things get dangerous because of the greasy nature of where you are. So in
No,
this
Ty, don't
moment,
do it.
in this moment, you're the furthest up ahead of everyone else, heading back the ladder with Thulmaris next to you or behind you, and Willami pulling up the rear. Willami, you hear a scraping noise coming from behind where you're at.
Oh, jeez.
I'm not sure what's back here, but we may want to run faster. I don't want to check. And she just speeds up.
Yeah, we'll go faster.
Whistler, you make it to the ladder, and you begin climbing up the rungs as quickly as you can. Give me a dex save.
Oh, a save? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we're continuing. Yep.
All right, so you start moving
Not
up the
happy
rung,
place.
and one of your feet, now coated in this substance, slips on a rung,
Ugh.
and you immediately like start to dangle, and your boot comes down. And as it comes down, it smacks into Thul's chest, knocking
Ow.
you back a little bit.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. When do I realize that the manhole cover is back on?
Closer to the top.
Okay, so
You rush
I don't know
up
if
the
anyone
ladder a
else-
bit, turning back and looking at Thulmaris, and you can see a shape in some sort of dark attire, about 30 feet behind you, coming around a corner. And then there's another one, and then there's the third one that seemed to be moving in this direction. You get to the top, and you bonk your head, and your horns like rattle across the metal of the cover as you've been
There's a-
looking down and
there-
rushing.
there's a brief, poignant pause, and then everyone on the surface hears.
Valen, Bennings, and Sid. From where you're at, you hear something scream from nearby in the ground. Sid, you turn and
Ding,
look,
ding.
and you can see the manhole cover like rattles from where you had just been.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. He runs over and starts pulling it off.
So you grab hold of it and you yank it off as fast as you can. A demon head kind of pops out, wild-eyed, frightened to all hell. And then you recognize it as a dragonborn, but it is super fearful.
No, oh
It's
yeah, really afraid. I offer my-
Everywhere.
Come
Oh
on,
God!
come on,
It
come on,
was.
get up.
Oh, please, thank you.
Master
And I'm just-
Whistler, we are still in danger.
I'm just
Can you
grabbing
take it out,
whoever and just
please?
like pulling myself up.
Whistler
I'm
like
there.
drags themselves out of this tunnel,
On you go.
grabbing hold of Sid and coating you in the grime and gross that is now upon them. Valen
I'm
and
like-
Bennings, the two of you standing off to the side, what are you doing as you see this scrambling dragon?
I like
Jennings.
climb up until like I'm putting myself into like a carry on top of them, just like carry me.
All right.
No, he-
Bennings is kind of rudely staring at the Dragonborn because he has never seen one before, and he's like doesn't really quite get what's going on, so he's very rudely staring at the moment.
This is the second Dragonborn that Sid has ever met, and they're both terrified of everything. So he's just like, oh, it's Tuesday.
Valen, what are you doing?
I start to understand that they're trying to get out, so I kind of quickly head over there and lend a hand,
All
reach
right.
down to see who
As-
maybe I can pull up.
As Wistelar is like scrambling and trying to be picked up by Sid, Valen ends up helping pull you out of the tunnel. Fulmaris, you rush up the ladder as well behind. I will also make you make a dex saving throw as Wistelar has coated the rungs in slimy, oily goop.
Natural 20.
Nat 20. Excellent. So it doesn't even affect you. You slither out.
And mind you, probably just even sees a hand, and Valen, what you just watch is just someone very gracefully pops out of the hole and just lands gracefully, bending at the hip, coming back up, and just undoes the bandana, flips the hair. Oh, that was fun.
Willamy, your turn. Please give me a dex saving throw as you're making your way up. I'm going to say that with the grace with which Thul has gone up this, that your difficulty has been reduced. All right, excellent. So you make it up without an issue as well. As you come to the surface, and you kind of glance behind you as you're being helped out by Valen, you see the shadowy figures standing down below you, and they look up and they notice that there's a crowd there, and they just kind of softly fade back into the darkness.
She'll put the cover back on.
Ding, 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 ding. And now there are
And
six
maybe
of you
maneuver so that Bennings is kind of herded to stand on top of it, because he looks like the heaviest and the one least likely to be able to.
Well, hold on.
grabs hold of you. Just
Aren't you in heavy armor, Valen?
Yeah, I
Then
am.
you would be the heaviest.
Wait,
That
what
works
the
too.
fuck, by the way? Valen has armor, and here I am with not even a real hammer? The fuck, Tyson?
I mean, it's part of his initial set. You have armor too. It's just not as heavy an armor as he has. Let me see. What are you currently wearing? You're wearing chainmail, so you have armor.
I am? Oh, okay, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
But
some
you just
old hand-me-down
rod with
chainmail. Valen's currently got. What are you? You're also wearing a level of chainmail. You just happen to have the neat pauldron from being part of the city guard. So you've got not old, kind of falling apart and rusty chainmail, whereas Bendings does.
So to the three
Also,
new
Dylan's
people,
been alive for ever, so
the half elven person who pops out very gracefully turns and points at the very terrified dragonborn and just says, "You kicked me and got that crap on me. I would like you to remove it, please."
Prestidigitation.
So some little sparkles
doing
of
it instinctively,
gemstone-colored
trying to-
energy.
I'm trying to get it off of me too. It is just even when I'm clean, it's still going. It's just it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I can't get it off. I can't get it off. It's everywhere.
hey, take a breath. It's off.
Oh, thought. Just thunk. I'm squeezing onto your neck. Just oh, thunk. You have no
Do I
idea.
have-
It was everywhere. Oh, it was traumatic. It was rising. It was falling. It was. Oh boy. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh god. Ooh. Hi, I'm with Stell.
Uh-huh.
Who are you trying
I'm
to
Sid.
shake the hand of? Did you point that at Sid?
Yeah,
The person you're currently choking.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
actively,
much choking.
I don't think they're accepted me climbing onto them, but I'm purposely putting myself into a carry on them. I'm swimming with their hands
No.
on their side.
No, weirdly he did. He's trying to carry you. I don't know if I have to roll a strength.
How
How
heavy are you, Istalar? I don't know what your current weight
What
is.
heavy? You're a 6-foot dragon.
I was gonna say.
But they're very lithe and they have no armor on.
What
No,
is-
they're actually no, they're still pretty. They're probably still 100
Let's see.
and 80, 190 somewhere in there.
Dragonborn average weight.
There you go.
They're
Let's just
naturally
look that
heavy,
up.
but he's
200 to 250 pounds. So that's
Yeah,
not
baby.
counting your equipment. So
Yeah.
yes, please give
that's
me
why I said about
uh,
190.
give me an athletics roll, Sid. Please, let's
scales
just
are-
see. Your roll target on
Yeah.
this is going to be a 16 or higher.
It's
No,
quite
yeah,
the
it's
world we
gonna be-
live in, where you can Google
Can I
average
assist because I'm
dragonborn
holding
weight
myself?
and immediately
I
get
know
your
it's
answer.
beautiful. It's a beautiful time. I love technology.
Ooh, yep.
hey!
You're standing strong. You're standing firm. You grab Wistelar in a carry across the chest. You know you can't hold it forever, but you've got them
No,
right
but-
now.
This isn't the first time this has happened to me. Weirdly, one time Lambert saw a really big spider. Anyway, hi, yeah, I'm Sid. Do you want to stay up or stand? You can stay up if you want. Just
If you're offering, I don't want to be rude, but
no, yeah, it's fine, it's
Enchanté.
fine.
You're awfully strong unexpectedly, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess.
So which
yeah.
which one of you put that manhole cover back on by any chance?
Yeah, that was me.
And I like slowly and like just like disgustedly like get like lower myself down like oh, and I just like
Okay,
Just whips out
listen.
a fan and just starts going.
If you walked down the street and you saw a manhole cover just off, when like anybody could fall, like a little kid could have fallen in there.
We would have helped them back out. It would have been fine.
No, I mean I would have helped the kid out if they fell in there, but I mean the best solution would be put the cover back so nobody falls in.
Ah, yes, but if the cover was back, we couldn't make a rapid exit. I'm Willamy, by the way.
I'm Sid. It's so nice to meet you. I am sorry that I almost got you hurt, killed, something.
Hurt, killed.
All of the above.
So
Okay.
we were
it does bring to mind, what were they doing down there? And why are they in such fear? Valen and Bennings, obviously, this is something that might be on your mind as well.
I was just about to ask that. What were you guys doing down there to begin with?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that manhole cover. Let's go.
well
And, like steps on your foot with the heel of my boot.
oh son
You
of a-
three are not from Baldur's Gate, are you?
No, we're not.
I take it then you.
Thul, I want you to give me an investigation roll as you're glancing over these individuals.
Too. Oh, that's terrible.
That is
Oh.
very bad. With a 7, all you garner is the yes, they are outsiders. It's obvious that they are dressing up a little bit. You can tell that. You don't know what that necessarily means, but they obviously are not from around here. So I'm going to let you just keep that and go for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you two have a particular way about you. You seem to be familiar. And then points at you, Bennings. You are, however, a stranger, yes?
I am unsure how much information I am willing to divulge in this conversation. You come out of a sewer screaming. You immediately start bickering. You're being very rude to that lizard man over there. I don't see a reason for me to answer
Honey.
any of your questions.
honey. First
He's a
off,
dragon.
lizard? All right.
Oh,
that was
I-
a little.
you just-
Ugh.
I apologize.
off-
I mean no offense,
It is
but
not
I
a
have never met one of y'all.
lizard. One of. Oh, fuck it. Thor, here. Oh,
Who just start holding
Presents
all the-
taking off the jewelry.
Please forgive him. He's,
No,
he's from a very
Bennings
small
is
town.
so
All right.
confused.
Okay.
He is like,
First off, close that perfect little lip of yours, you country bumpkin, all right? You might not be from the big city, but you just can't go around calling everyone you people, lizard, or whatever the fuck else they are, flesh bag. Firstly, I am a dragonborn, all right? Descendant of the dragon. Secondly, I am a gem-based dragonborn, so thirdly, you're welcome. And also,
Thank God for
did
him.
you just assume my gender? Did you just say, have you met one of me before? Do you know what we look like? Do you know how many genders we have?
Bennings
32,
takes a
actually.
moment, blinks really hard, and goes, I do believe I caught about half of that. And he's just kind of stuck, because so much has happened at once, and there's so many different things going on that he doesn't know about. So he's just kind of stuck staring, again, rudely, at the Dragonborn.
Perhaps we should find somewhere
I'm just-
else with
I just-
fewer, I don't know, ears to have this discussion?
I don't believe I wish to go anywhere with these individuals.
I
Having
know a
met
very
them.
nice park. The squirrels there are so kind and so generous.
And
Come
while
on.
I do believe you know about a nice park, I am not seeing any advantage to me
Willamy is
going with
already
you.
walking towards the park.
Willamette
Uh,
just starts
He's
walking
following
away.
her and he's fishing peanuts out of his pocket.
Bennings grabs Valen's shoulder and goes like, "Hey, you're calm, man. I don't believe I know what's happening at this point, and you seem to be of a sure conscience."
I just
Mars
look
will put
over
a
at
hand on both
Bennings.
of your shoulders and just say, I think you might want to follow that one, as we might have a way for you to get in the city, which I'm assuming is what you want, yes?
And I just look at Bennings and say, I think we found our seedy people. And just chuckles and walks forward.
Bennings is sticking tight with Valen because that's about the only person in this party he's knows very well, and Sid is kind of gone off like a wild card right now, so he's sticking close to Valen.
All right. As you are leaving the alley and heading towards this park that Willamie has so graciously brought up for you all to meet within, you can't help but notice that you've got some eyes on you. There were members of individuals outside of either side of the alleyway that saw the weirdness happening inside, in a sea of weirdness, mind you, so maybe some weren't paying as much attention as maybe they might otherwise, but you have had an audience view your weird altercation in the alleyway. And you travel out of the alleys. You head into the grand dirt bazaar, as it is, and you move over into this little forest enclosure that is the main park of the city. You can see little encampments have been set up inside of there. People are putting out bedrolls. They're putting out little tents, and it's starting to turn into a bit of a resting place for refugees. You can see various members of the Fist walking around, some of them yelling orders at the people, some of them complaining about how many are there, some of them talking to their superiors to try to figure out what the heck they're supposed to do, because this is a nature enclosure and it's not supposed to be destroyed by people leaving their junk everywhere. But as you all move into that position, we will go to our break for 10 minutes. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you're having a great time. We will return in 10 to continue the adventures of whatever this is at the moment. So we'll be right back. Goodbye, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. And, it's so great to see you out there and inside of my camera. Anyway, we're back to the game now. Everybody has moved along, followed Willamie to the park, where there are refugees setting up camps. There's Flaming Fist walking around and trying to round people up, not doing the greatest job of it. And many of them are just along the lines of, fuck it, there's so much to do right now, I don't really think this is really worthwhile. You see a few of them looking out amongst the crowd at that point in time, but you all move into a small position near a large oak tree. You can see a couple of chittering squirrels run up the side of the boughs themselves. And underneath this, in the shade, you are now technically far enough away from people that eavesdropping is not likely to be a thing. What happens next? Willamie, you brought them here. Let's start with you. What are you doing?
She will actually wave to the squirrels and then sit down at the base of the oak tree. There's just this little notch between two roots that she fits in perfectly, and she sits down.
One of the squirrels
Join me.
waves its tail at you. And you see a few of them just moving into the edge of the tree and just seems to be staring at all of you.
They're very fond of my art, but please have a seat.
Does everybody move into a position of sitting? Do you stand around? Whistler, what are you doing?
I think they sit down in a huff. Like, they probably right next to Willamie, just like, and they like put their head on their shoulder and just being like, I can't even do this. Just like,
Bendings,
Wait,
what are
Willamie,
you...
how tall are you?
6'3".
No, Willamie, how tall is Willamie?
Oh, sorry, Willamie.
5'10".
So, okay, so just a little bit down.
It's not. It's
You have
not,
to
yeah,
lean.
yeah,
You have to lean a ways,
might be-
just a
It
little
might
ways.
be more of like a lap lay down, but one way or the other, they're just like, I can't even do this. They're just like they're like fully like just.
I'm gonna come back to
Willoughby will
Bennings
just
in a
stroke
second.
the horns and try and calm Whistler.
Sid, you
Call me a
followed
wizard.
very
Can't believe
quickly
they called me a wizard.
as well, so I'm gonna go to you first. So after Willamie has offered a position, what do you do?
He has a seat.
Mhm.
He gently nudges some peanuts towards the squirrels. Um, and yeah, he's like, well, so we all need to get into the city, I guess.
Thelmaris, you are next in line as Sid sits down. You see Whistler and Willamie gathered where they're at. What are you doing? How are you setting yourself up?
Um, sitting would not feel comfortable. Yeah, wouldn't feel comfortable sitting just yet. So probably would just stand off in the shade of the tree
Okay,
with their as close to their back to their tree as they could.
trying to keep that defensive position. Valen, you are right in front of Bennings. Bennings was following you closely. Are you taking a seat? Are you standing? How are you approaching this situation?
Valen would take a seat, I think, because I think he's trying to bridge this gap of like, oh yeah, we're uncomfortable because we don't know this people, but at the same time, it's like we need help, and these people might be able to help us. So I'm going to try to make it as comfortable and peaceful as I can.
Okay.
So he takes a
So as
seat
you
next to
take that seat,
Willamie.
you have to move your shield off to the side. You have to adjust your sword so it doesn't poke into the ground as you sit down flat on the ground. Bennings, standing, sitting, what are you doing as you're the last one to walk up to the group? Currently the most uncomfortable with this strange arrangement.
Well, Bennings has kind of had his world shattered. He's wants to do nothing but trust people, and since reaching the city, he's heard so many positive things about, has just had that kind of downtrodden, seeing the corruption. So he's got his guard up probably a little harder than it should be. So he's going to remain standing with his arms crossed, and he's going to be very quiet, offering no information because he does not find himself in a trustworthy state at this point.
Okay. So, as you are all sitting there now, obviously Thul is back against the tree. Bennings is standing off to the side, arms crossed and looking a little defensive. Peanuts being scattered across the ground. The squirrels, of course, are also being a little bit wary because while they trust Willamie, they don't trust Sid. And Whistler
That's okay.
laying head on shoulder. So how do we breach the topic of what has happened and what's going on? Obviously, you're looking for a way into the city. So let's start with that. I'm going to say, Thul, you probably have the most information to give right off the bat. So
Right.
how do you approach starting this conversation?
We'll point out to him the most strange as the three people who are not from Baldur's Gate. Actually, Willamie, you probably also have a look of someone not from Baldur's Gate either.
Definitely.
So we'll probably just like point out all four of you and just say the four of you need a way into Baldur's Gate. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my dream is eventually to perform there. I thought I'd do some more on the outskirts, but yeah, if we want to jump right into it, that's fine.
Stiff
And-
nod.
Like we'll bend down, the hair falls off to the side, looking at the poor like downtrodden Whistler. And I do believe, Master Whistler, you probably don't have an easy way back in, no?
No, just I tried a guard, and then they were just very rude and curt. And no, I don't have. That was my one and only thought. So I have not the clue.
Well, I have business in that sewer, and I need help.
Ooh.
This is where
I have-
Valen chimes in and says, "We still aren't sure why you guys were down there to begin with."
Well, Master Whistler, why did you go in there?
Well, so long story short, I was waiting for a shipment to come in for my store. I went out to try to find the cart that the shipment was on. I found that the cart seemingly was destroyed. There was a ruckus. There was a big scene. That was when Willamie made their acquaintance to me. We found out that we kind of had information about what might have happened. My associate from my store saw some of it as well, and our stories aligned that we needed to go into the sewer to pursue whoever might have done said attack on the cart. So that's how we started to go down that way.
I also have something that's very important that I get back to a patron of mine. Just to round out the introductions. Thulmaris of Sharess's Caress. You four don't know what that is. It's probably the best brothel in town.
I actually heard about it during my show. So yeah, it's lovely to meet you. Officially, I mean we've gone through the sewers together, so we're practically family.
Hold the fan up over their mouth to Slayer like, oh, this person is crazy.
Oh Lord.
Who introduces themselves next?
My name is Valen. What was the name of the place that the city went away?
El
Tyson?
Terrell.
El Terrell.
El Turel. I'm Valen. I am a paladin of Alterel. You might have heard of the Hellriders. I am one of the Hellriders, but our city sort of disappeared. So we're trying to
Excuse
find
me.
some information.
Wait. Did you just say it disappeared?
Mm-hmm.
In a blink.
El-
In a flash of
El
purple
Turel.
lightning. Yes.
The whole
All of
thing.
it.
Completely gone.
Yep.
I know songs about the Hellriders, but I don't remember anything about cities disappearing. That's not in your wheelhouse normally, is it?
No.
It's
Whitstell just
No.
goes completely ashen as far as a purple dragonborn could, and then they just like faint onto Willoughby, just like out.
Oh, they are of low constitution.
They're having a very rough day. They lost something. They had to put their friend back into a bottle. They don't have a bottle of their own. There were sewers. It's been a rough day.
Speaking of, Willoughby, you saw someone being taken away into the sewers? Were they alive when they were dragged off?
I didn't see someone dragged off exactly. I did see things being dragged. Everybody seemed to be alive when they went down the ladder and when they were running through the sewers, but I didn't stay down very long
Well,
the first time.
a patron has asked that I recover a very important gift for her. A deck of cards, and I mean to get them back. It is of the utmost importance, so let's kill two birds with one stone. You help me get that back, and I'll have to deliver it, and I can deliver you all into the city, if that will help.
I think that's fair, as long as we can also get Wistelar's goods. They
I
seem
do
very
have a
important to them.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
You say, Thale, that getting through this sewer will get us into the city?
No. There's another way into the city that is less used by those of more upstanding bent.
Right. So what you're proposing we do is help you get what you need and take it on your good word that you're going to get us into the city. Is that what I'm understanding?
Oh, that's pretty much it, yes.
You've been awfully cloak and dagger about this deck of cards and how important they are. Doesn't seem like you're giving us much to work with. You're asking for a lot of faith and providing very little.
Thelmaris, from your position, roll perception check.
I would love to.
Whistler. A voice seems to like move through your mind for a second.
Wake up. Wake up,
26.
Whistler. I have news for you.
Everyone shut up. Just everyone shut up for a second.
See a large and something is standing in the midst of your group that you can't quite see. It's kind of this ghostly presence for a second, and its voice only goes to Whistler at the moment.
Something has happened to your family. It is very unfortunate, Whistler. I feel saddened for you.
I don't know what to do. This whole day has just been all over the place, and I don't even know where to start. Please, and like, like we're still like, even though like there are ghostly like visage, they still like try to like go like hug them in a way.
Yeah.
Like
You get your arms wrapped around this ghostly image
they have
individual.
a very skewed vision of what the patron servant pact is with, or the dynamic is.
Of course.
And they're very, yeah, and they're just like, I don't. Please, do you know anything? Is there anything that you can tell me? Can we get them back? Do you know what happened to the city? Do you know where it went? I mean, you've never really stood me wrong before.
I will have to look into it for you. I don't wish you to be saddened. It makes things difficult. So I tell you what, little one. Give me a little bit of time to speak with some of my friends. Once I return, I will have some better answers for you. But in the interim, please don't get yourself harmed or hurt, and remember to eat every breakfast, dinner, and lunch that you have. And stay hydrated.
Of course, Daddy. Of course, I will. I will just anything for you. And I really needed this. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome.
And Kazal just takes you in a big hug that nobody else can see, but it looks like Whistler's being like squeezed by something for a moment, and then the image just kind of.
Your
Just-
father
just
must be
good.
very proud of you.
Just to make certain that I heard it correctly, it was not said in the form of daddy like father, right?
Daddy?
Oh God, no. Could you all see that? Just, I mean, I'm so by
We
myself
didn't
sometimes I
start
forget.
it.
We
Okay,
saw
well,
a mist.
that's Casal. I call him DD, just, you know, a little loving pet name between us. But yeah, they actually live in my bottle. They helped me get my start, if you will, with Baldur's Gate in my store. They are such a great person. I really look up to them. They take care of me. It's great.
As
You're
Whistler
That
was
was
explaining,
much smaller
Thul,
than the other thing.
Thul, you're distracted at the moment because that being whatever that was, you happen to notice Flaming Fist members walking through the crowd of individual at the in the park. There are 7 of them, more heavily armored than usual. One of them bearing a captain's plume, and they're moving 2 individuals that happen to have weapons, mercenaries, things like that, and surrounding them. And when they finish, you see those mercenaries go off with a soldier. And then they keep looking for other individuals. And you notice that they've got a bead on your group and proceed to start walking in this direction.
Okay. Master Whistler,
Oh yes,
can you put things in that bottle?
yes, of course. Yeah, it's actually quite nice.
Okay. I need every single one of you to put any weapons you have in the bottle right now.
Yeah, that's a hard no.
That's a
We
hard
have-
no.
That's a hard
We have
no.
the fist about to come and take us away, and I don't know about you, but I'd rather not.
Oh, I hate them. And she immediately
Yeah,
hands it
dicks.
over.
No, yeah. Sid's like,
like-
no, this track.
There's
Are
like
you
a
trying to do
rapier.
it in a way where they don't notice you hiding
Yes.
these weapons?
So I think
Yeah.
Fulmaris will be the one to like sleight of hand things into the bottle. And you know what? Fulmaris is a whore, so we'll just kind of make a little bit of a fun show out of it.
No, I was just gonna say we can work with this.
Just so you know, they do charge you for performing here.
So wait. I've already interacted with the Flaming Fist, and I was very aggressive, and I was fully armed, and nothing bad happened. So I don't see a reason for me to hide my weapon.
You also have a really large weapon that is hard to hide. I will allow Filmaris to make some sleight of hand rolls, but they will be aided by each one of you.
Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay
My
strapped.
Benning
My
stays
bottle is-
strapped.
It's
Can't help
20.
everyone.
It's 20-foot radius and 20-foot high, so it's pretty big.
The interior is, yes.
Yeah. The interior.
So you can stuff a lot of
So-
stuff in there.
Can I have a conversation with Valen real quick?
Yes, absolutely. So while Thul is getting involved in what they're doing, and Whistler is currently getting bottles out to stick things in, Bennings pulls Valen aside slightly.
I do not believe I know what is happening. I've seen this dragon pass out about 3 times. Some ghosts appeared. They're asking us to trust them. And now they want me to hand over my weapon. I do not see a good reason, do you?
I'm very confused, and it goes against everything I'd like to do as well. But I'm not sure. We did have our weapons when we talked to them earlier. Would
I,
it matter that much?
I'm not comfortable being unarmed around this group of individuals.
Fulmaris,
Hmm?
what is the purpose of giving you my weapon?
So none of us gets put in jail.
But I had my weapons earlier, and I didn't go to jail.
Oh, did you not notice the captain who seems to be rounding up people who are wielding weapons right now? And points and like, not points, but like sachets in that direction.
You actually don't see them putting anybody else away because they're currently marching towards your group
Towards
directly.
us.
In the event of a confrontation, would it not be more advantageous to remain armed? How many are coming, Tyson?
There's 6 of them and the captain, so 7 in total.
There's 6 of us, and I like my odds.
Oh dear.
I mean, yeah, but one of them is a captain, and those guys are generally tough.
And you're assuming that they mean to do us harm.
Have you not met the fist yet?
Yeah,
They're
not that.
just mean.
I've barely met you. And
Well-
you
So-
are being very demanding.
They
this
are
whole time.
very rapidly approaching. I'm going to ask each one of you what is one action you're currently taking so that we can pick up from there. Bennings, what do you do as they get close enough to talk to you all? They start fanning out a little bit, and they're surrounding your group just a bit.
I just probably just look at them and like nod, like
Okay.
like casually, like just assuming they like you see somebody walking by on the street, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
so you're just
polite,
acknowledging them.
yeah, just
Wistelar, what is the thing you're doing? You have a bottle in your hand, and you've hit a few things in it already.
So basically, my thought was, then their pitch would be anyone their pitch would be for anyone who basically is the most threatening looking, like Bennings, Valen, like anyone who's basically outwardly looking like a soldier or something like that. Their pitch would be, you can get in the bottle, it's perfectly safe, you can hear anything, and if something goes down, you can just jump out and surprise them. But otherwise than that, they really don't have anything to really prep outside of just making themselves making them look their best.
Okay.
And that's really about it.
Willamy?
She's gesturing to the squirrels to run away because she's genuinely concerned about them.
You see them like
she's
standing
already-
there. Their hackles
Exactly.
are raised, and they're getting ready to jump if they have to.
I appreciate them so much.
Sid?
I-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No, she does that, and she just kind of stands next to Whistle and prepares herself.
Okay. Sid, how do you react to this group surrounding you?
Does Whistle just still have a jar?
A jar?
It's a gorgeous.
glass
It looks like
thing.
it's probably the most fancy, elegant, artistic, ostentatious wine bottle you've ever seen. Like it looks like it's ungodly tacky, but it's
love it.
that's what the bottle is.
Okay. As they approach, he's going to try to throw them off a little bit more as to what they've been doing, and says, "Oh man, Whistler, you finished it off. I still wanted a drink of that." And gestures to the bottle.
All right. Valen, how are you preparing yourself?
I have some sort of cloak on to kind of already hide who I am because I'm already not wanting them to know.
Yeah.
But I think this would be a good time to kind of hide my shield and my short sword within that so that it seems like somewhat hidden.
Yeah. So you're just making it less apparent.
I'm not quite comfortable to give my stuff away.
Okay. Thilmaris, what are you doing in preparation?
Between Valen and Bennings, who's more tense?
I
That's
think,
between the
I think
two of you.
Benning's a bit more tense right now.
Hold on, I am calm, cool, and collected, baby, because I see the cops and I'm like, sup, I'm good. I'm not appearing outwardly aggressive.
I mean, I'm also like city watch investigator. Like that, my role was what this captain was and more. So like, I'm not intimidated by someone in authority. I was authority.
Not intimidated, tense. That's what I was.
Sure.
That's one thing.
I'm
But
not tense.
so I would probably take a spot behind Bennings.
Mm-hmm.
Not hiding directly behind him, but very clearly like there is someone between me and a sword.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bennings
So you're
doesn't
standing
like
in a
that.
defensive position where Bennings is now a human shield for you. Got it.
Pretty much.
Thol, please give me a sleight of hand roll to see how you did with hiding some of the other equipment from the others before the group has arrived.
22.
Excellent. I'm pretty sure that nobody's noticed the ones that you put away. Obviously, Valen and Bennings still have their weapons gathered. So the group circles around you, and the individual in the captain's plume just like steps forward slightly. Good evening, citizens. I am sorry to interrupt your restfulness, but I couldn't help but notice that many of you look combat experienced. Am I wrong in my consideration?
May I ask where this is going before I provide an answer?
Most certainly, young man. I am Captain Zodge, currently in control of the Flaming Fist in this region. We have been tasked with finding task forces to assist us in overcoming cult activity within the city so that we can return peacefulness and quietness. Unfortunately, Baldur's Gate is a large place, and we don't have a lot of reserves in place since the Grand Duke is gone missing. Too many pots to stir, and we need assistance. Preferably from individuals of experience. I was hoping maybe you would be some of those and wouldn't be so kind as to aid us in finding out some information about this cult. And I could offer you leniency and some admittance to the city, as well as some freedoms that other individuals might not be presented. I can deputize all of you, I'm assuming you're all one group, and allow you to work in regards for the city as basically mercenaries for the group, for the Flaming Fist. But I am prepared to offer you all 200 gold apiece if you can find the whereabouts of this cult for me.
Vibe check.
What kind of vibe check are you looking to do here?
Are we just inciting?
Honesty. Because we already, well, at least Thul's understanding, like, hey, someone knows that some of us were right at their gate, is worried that this person might be associated with them and is leading us into a trap.
All right,
So,
yeah, go ahead and give me a roll here real quick.
Oof, that is awful. That's a natural one.
Oh my god.
That is straight up fail. You can't read him at all. As a matter of fact, you are worried that your own perception is
Situation.
skewed. Yeah, because of the way that you don't know if you can even trust your own feelings about this individual at the moment.
I want to say I would like to take a roll at this as well, because
Insight.
with my background, I would have some understanding of how this man is holding himself.
Absolutely. Give me an insight roll.
Okay, it's just natural ones all day.
First two people panic, now you're freaking out in front of them, just,
You're all acting a little strange, a little shady. I'm starting to rethink my offer to all of you. So, from your position, Valen, you don't know him well enough. Looking at this individual, you have no idea what to expect. You have seen that there are Flaming Fists that are obviously rabid dogs. You're not sure how much of a control he has over them, although he currently looks like he's in control of his faculties and the individuals that are surrounding him. So, it's up to you on whether or not you trust this individual.
May I give it a shot?
Go for it. Let's see
Okay.
Sid's insight.
Get
I
a 1.
I would not be surprised if I did. Honestly, this is
3 nat ones in a
Universe
row.
implodes.
If we do
absolute
winner,
clown
winner,
shoes.
chicken dinner.
Y'all would all be.
That's close.
I mean, that's better.
At least
Listen,
it's
You're
not
making
a nat
progress.
One. With an
I
8.
love how we got the same roll.
No, this
I
guy's
wanted more.
really freaking like
Stoic.
nothing.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't read him. You just can't read him. I will allow the same opportunity to Bennings, Wistelar, and Willoughby if you wish to make that roll.
Sure.
I don't feel a need
Why
to
not?
now.
I
Okay.
hope big +3. Hey, I did something
There's a
decent for once.
17 from Wistelar.
Just
And
needed
an
a pep
11
talk.
from Willoughby. Willoughby, you can't really read him either. You're not really getting a here or there. Wistelar, you've actually heard of Captain Zaj, and Captain Zaj used to be a paladin and a palatial guard up in Waterdeep, and came down here to try to organize things and make things better because the Fist are pretty much unruly as hell, and is slowly working at it. So you feel like he's somebody you can trust to listen to.
I'll just kind of lean over to Thul and just basically say, I think he's one of the good ones. It's actually not a bad deal. I know him around, and he's done good things. I haven't heard of anything shady with them.
You understand in this moment why you feel so uncomfortable, Thul.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was part of the investigation into you.
Son of a bitch. All right. So
I can't do anything about that.
I think what Thulmaris will do in this moment is just whisper loud enough that only Bennings catches it and says, "Well, you wanted faith. I know the exact location of a gate of what I would presume to be a cult of the Dead Three."
You do? Well,
Wait, are you whispering to me or the guard?
No, I whispered the first part to you about faith.
Oh,
He
okay,
said
sorry.
The second part, everyone now knows, but yes, to the guard.
We
that's
just saw it.
exceptional information to have. Why don't you meet at my guardhouse? Well, I'd say in the next hour. I still have much recruitment to attempt, and we'll have a better chat about that there. Do you know where it is? It's near the Basilisk Gate. First guardhouse on the right, big tower. You can't miss it.
In the process, would you be able to bring some materials, particularly something to make a signet ring out of?
A signet ring.
Yep.
I could see if we have a jeweler somewhere that could part with some of their equipment.
Hey,
I actually, with Stell of the Hidden Gem, I know. It's okay. You can take a moment. But I'm actually a jeweler. I'm one of the better ones up and coming in the city, you see. I just need... my shop's inside. Obviously, I can't get to it right now. So it's really just the supplies, tools, maybe just... it doesn't even need to be high-end. Even just a piece of glass or something like that I can shape into the size would be all I need.
Well, hey, he did say he could get us if we agree. He could take us into the city, probably, and then we could just go to your shop.
That is true. If you wish to get hold of your tools. I'm assuming this is for some sort of key, some sort of object to get into this hideout?
Correct.
there was a hole
Yes.
next to a skull, and the skull tried to kill us with light. It was actually really beautiful, and I think I need to make a song about it.
Well, I thank you very much. I'm going to accept this as we will work together for now.
Bennings wants to say something.
Go ahead, Bennings.
So Bennings takes a step forward. Goes, upon entering your city, I was witness to many persons being accosted by members of your guard. Now, I am willing to serve this public. However, I have a condition, and that is that you discipline the rogues in your legion. What are you to do about that?
Well, son, I am working on implementing better leadership in the Fist. We have an outsider that has been recently brought in to act as a commanding officer here. Once she arrives, I'm certain that things will take a turn for the better. Myself, I have limited strength other than just to manage the individuals who are directly in my charge.
Bennings nods and goes, all right. I will see you at the guardhouse.
Good. Then, all of you have a pleasant afternoon, and I will see you later. You see the other guards, like, move back into position formation with him as he turns and marches away from you all, continuing his business.
We'll turn to Bennings and just say, easier to work together now?
Bennings has a weird vibe right now. He's like, you're scared of the law? That doesn't, like, that guy seems very trustworthy, right? The Captain Zaj, as he put it, seems like a very honest and trustworthy man, and his reputation precedes that. I know very little of you. You've been very aggressive. You've tried to unarm me, and you are very skittish around the law. I'm not sure I trust you. However, I can see the two of us working together to get me into this city.
You absolutely shouldn't trust me. Yet.
That's not helping your case.
I
Trust
don't.
the fist either.
I don't.
They shook me down for 2 gold. They tried for 10, but I talked them down. And then the squirrels went and got my money back. But that's beside the point. Don't trust the fist.
No,
I have
yeah,
actually
see-
lived in this city for quite some time, and I know exactly how mercurial they can be guard to guard, fist to fist. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm not so eager to just give all of my information and all of myself to them.
Then you will have to give me forgiveness as well. If you ever try to unarm me like that again, it will go poorly.
How about maybe you should do less talking and more listening, and then you yourself will come off less as a jackass, and then you can apologize.
Yeah,
Man,
kind of. Okay,
What?
Bennings.
What do you have on your belt?
what?
What?
What do you have on your belt? Just on your person that could be removed.
Oh, a pot.
Yeah.
Not the pot! Anything but the pot.
I mean, just like
Listen.
is going.
Listen, you can fuck with Bennings, but you fuck with Bennings' pot. Oh,
Beloved
no, no.
stew
Just
pot.
a child.
I think just what happens. How tall are you, Bennings, right now?
that's a great question.
How
Tall,
tall are you?
probably.
You get to
He
choose.
seems tall. What is it, 6'4"?
6'4".
6'4"?
There you go.
Yes,
We're
He's
very
as tall
tall
as
party.
Whistler.
you are wider, much wider than Thulmaris, but because of the 3 inches of heel that he's currently wearing, is looking eye to eye at you and gets like very personally close and just says, "Sir, if I really want to take something from you, you probably won't notice until it's too late." And is gonna try to like take the pot off.
Give
of
me
your...
a sleight of
Velvet
hand
try-
while Bennings rolls a perception.
I love
It,
this
like, it
so
has
much.
to be a big pot, right?
It's
Oh.
yeah.
No. It's like
25.
all right, let's see where we're at.
It's like that's the thought of trying to like sleight of hand a soup pot. It's just hilarious. It's just like I'm just gonna delicately.
Listen, these
love
hands
that.
were made for pleasure and for pain.
It's like a
Oh,
cast
wow.
iron pot. It's like, you know, one you could make spaghetti in. It's pretty big.
Tyson, what am I doing? What check am I doing?
You're doing a perception roll.
Perception.
You gotta beat a
Like,
25.
Something,
There's
I know
like
skills.
something 5 foot tall when
Under
you're 3
skills?
feet tall.
Yeah.
It's just like, where did it go?
How did the skills tab?
I know you can help
it's
people and give them
halfway
advantage. Can you
Oh,
hinder
perception.
people?
Perception.
You can help the other side basically. You can't purposely like do disadvantage.
So you
Well,
have this.
I would have just.
You have the skills tab open, right?
I do. I'm just not, and I see perception. I'm just not 1,000% sure on where to click.
Click
The
in the
little,
section that has the
die.
plus. It has a +4 for you. So the one that has the little die symbol in it is the one you double click.
Yeah.
So you'll see
Uh-huh.
wisdom, then there's a blank one, and then there's a +4. Just double click on the +4.
Yeah, no, I'm totally not seeing that.
You might need to make your character sheet wider. I don't know.
I'm seeing skills.
So
Okay, you
under
click on
skills, do you see
skills.
acrobats, animal handling, arcana, athletics, deception,
I
history,
absolutely do.
insight?
There's no die next to him though, and when I double click, it just sort of brings up a
If
little
you
thing.
look on the right side, there should be 3 columns: stat,
Misc, and
miscellaneous,
total.
and total.
Click on the total column next to perception.
Yeah. Still not seeing whatever you guys are talking about.
Look
Oh,
on
so
the
I think
stream.
you have
Look
a
on
plus-
look
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
stream real
Yeah.
quick on Twitch.
Yeah.
And I've got it up so you can see what it's supposed to look like. If it doesn't
Oh,
look
it's
like
like-
this for you,
Yeah, that's not it.
Oh, that would be why.
I hit the skills thing though.
Oh, are you looking at the tabs to the right?
Yeah.
And then you hit the skills tab?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
You just don't
yeah.
see
it
the
should
3
be-
columns.
Yeah, just take the pot. I'm done
I'll just-
trying to roll.
here,
Just
I'll roll
take
it
the
for you, it's
goddamn
fine.
pot.
there you got a
Hey!
23.
Almost.
You rolled at almost the same thing. Okay.
But so as I say
We'll have
that,
to
I
figure
take
that
the
out
pot
though
off
for
of
you,
the
'cause you're supposed
belt
to be able to have this.
and then just present it to you, Beddings.
I very disappointedly and ashamedly take the pot, and then I go to Valen, and I'm like, "You just tell me." I'm gonna turn to Valen. I'm like, "All of this is so strange to me. Yet you seem to be very level-headed. You let me know when I should be alarmed, and I'll hold that in good faith."
I'm sorry to interject, but I think if we're gonna do this mission, we're going to have to find some sort of level ground to trust each other. Then I look at Thor.
I could sing us all a song.
Listen,
Agreed.
Ooh.
I don't really believe in trusting strangers, but I do believe in making certain that we all get paid accordingly.
I'm more worried
I
about
need
getting
that
into
deck.
Baldur's
Hate
Gate.
is good.
I need that deck to get back into Baldur's Gate. You need to get into Baldur's Gate. We need to get to those cultists. I am more than willing to not only work together, but make certain that all of you make it out alive.
Exactly. If we all work together, everybody's goal gets accomplished. That's the key. That's how it works. My mom said so.
My Valen turns to Bennings and says, Do you trust me to figure this out?
Of all the members of our party, you seem to be the only one who is level-headed and not actively hiding information at every turn. So, yes, I do trust you to get us into Baldur's Gate.
Okay. Then we're gonna trust Thol. But we'll be wary.
All right.
He turns to
Alright.
Thol.
So our
Nods
audience
his head.
has granted us one inspiration. The party can share that, and when a time comes up when we want to re-roll, we can do that.
Mm.
Also, there's a +1 to Benning's next roll.
Oh, that's sweet.
I think that was for I think his role for the
Is
pot.
that because
I
you
caught it
wanted
too
to
late,
defend
though,
my
so
pot,
we'll
little
just-
viewer? Thank you.
It still
We'll
wouldn't have
just
beat.
take it.
Still wouldn't have beat me.
It wouldn't have had it, yeah. Take it for the next one.
Listen,
close,
you'll
though.
never get that fucking pot. Okay? Hell and back, baby. That pot's coming with me.
Staying through the whole game until it's like destroyed in some sort of heartbreaking moment later in the game.
It,
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
it has
gonna be
pot.
so sad.
It has pot armor.
haha, but I'm just
Leave.
Get out. You're dead.
So,
Banned.
before you head to the guard tower, is there anything that anybody wants to do before that situation happens?
I think just as we're walking, Wistel would come up to Valen and just real quick just be, I'm actually from Thoriel, born and raised. Actually, you might know my family, the Horacias. They practically work practically everywhere in the place. I just really just want to know what you meant before. The city is truly and utterly gone?
Yes, we were just heading back to the city and this purple lightning appeared and in a blink of an eye, the whole city was gone.
Do you know if anyone got out?
Not even from what I could tell. My lover Darian was in there too. I'm fairly worried, but I unfortunately don't know what truly happened. That's my whole goal is to figure out, does Baldur's Gate know anything about this?
I know we have current business trying to get back into the city and all that, but the only thing more important in this life to me than what I do in Baldur's Gate is my family, and if it's okay with you, or if you plan to go back to Authoriel, I would wish to join you to help with this, whatever this might be. I really want to see my family is okay.
Absolutely. My goal is to find my loved one as well. I would take the help.
My patron is trying to find some information, so maybe we can come up with something. But yeah, let's just take care of current problems first.
Absolutely.
Anything else people would like to have chats about before we move on to the next scene?
I would say to either Bennings or Sid. Could both of you roll a perception check for me? Because I want to see if you notice it as they're talking about this conversation.
Absolutely.
Perception checks from both of you.
Oh boy, here we go. I already failed the first time I tried to do this.
You got this. We believe in you.
You got a +1 now.
You can
That's
just
true.
roll the d20 and you can add your bonus to it as well, rather than clicking from the
That's
sheet.
That was
We
like
can't
one
find it.
too from a while ago, actually.
I wonder why I'm messing this up, but I'll roll the d20. Yeah. Oh,
13, your perception bonus is 4, so you got a 17.
Okay.
wow.
No one,
Okay.
no one sees it.
Wait, what would I have needed to have what?
Hit 19 or higher.
For what?
Oh, just see something about that conversation. Spark
For
something
something.
yeah, important. But don't worry about it right now.
You don't get to know because you didn't see it.
You got close. Didn't see it.
So
Okay.
I think we'll walk up to Willamie. My dear, where are you from?
Oh, here and there. I actually was raised not too far away. My parents are part of the druidic group out there in the forest. I didn't have the skill for it, and so I ended up following around a half-orc bard and just fell in love with music and performing.
Are you lying to me?
Every single word is truth.
Oh, I see. It does explain the squirrel thing, at least.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They are creatures who breathe and live in that area.
Question.
Answer.
Was I close enough to Valen to overhear his conversation with Wistelar?
Yeah. They weren't
Okay.
saying they were trying to hide it or veil it
Okay.
in some way.
I was just wondering, because that act of vulnerability coming from Wistelar makes me trust him more now.
Okay. So we see the scene fade out, and all of you have marched through the city streets a bit. As it's getting closer to evening, there are more people that are frustrated. Obviously, as it gets closer to night, they're trying to figure out where the hell they're going to sleep, what they're going to do about their families. While it is a summer, almost autumn time, and it's relatively warm during the day, it does get kind of chilly in the evening. So there are people out on the streets that are kindly handing out blankets and bedrolls and things to people. Some have offered to take some of the refugees and some of the people that are stuck outside the city into their homes, but many others are just making camps and sleeping out on the ground. So you make your way over to the guard tower. A few of the fists outside just kind of nod as if they were expecting you, and you walk inside into a large like meeting chamber. There's a big oaken desk. Captain Zaj is there. He's got some maps of the city out on the table, and he's pointing out some things to some of his guards. And as you walk inside, he kind of turns around and sees you. Ah, there you are, friends. I'm glad you actually decided to arrive. So, about this location, this cult outpost that you had found, where might this be?
We'll point in like the general vicinity of it on the map. and just say, in the sewers.
In the sewers here in the outer skirts, we scoured these not too long ago and didn't find anything. So you're
It
saying...
looks like a dead end.
I would have some of my men go to this location and see what they can find out. And in the interim, the greater threat we're worrying about is located inside the city itself, rather than a satellite location outside of the city here. I am assuming that they wouldn't quarter their entire operation in the smaller section of Rivington, but rather in the underbelly and the underbowels of Baldur's Gate itself. Baldur's Gate has long been plagued by followers of the dead three gods, Bane, Merkul, Baal. I thought we had wiped them out, but apparently not. These purveyors of fear and death are taking advantage of the current crisis that is happening all around us now to commit murder sprees throughout the entirety of the city. As all of you have agreed to join us here, that's my assumption anyway, and as appointed deputies that I can set you up with in this matter, and he turns to the table and grabs a few Flaming Fist insignia pins and just starts handing them out to you to wear. You'll have license to hunt these individuals down, kill them if necessary, take them in alive if you can, for greater questioning, of course. But I don't think they will go quietly. If you happen to come across them, it is likely going to be a life or death scenario, so please defend yourselves.
Cultists are like hip monks. Oh, they pop up everywhere, but you just have to wipe them out, and then the squirrels get on with their business.
Yes, exactly. I would have you find their lair if you can, and wipe it out. Eliminate anyone who gets in your way, and don't worry about collateral damage. As necessary, we will take care of it. We will pay those that need to be paid. We will rebuild if we have to. I may regret saying that, of course. None of you know how to throw lightning or fireballs, do you?
I can dodge eye lasers.
That guy burned half his face off.
I am a paladin.
Well, that is good to hear. A brother in arms. So
really
again, like
wanna
I said,
look
I
at-
have...
oh.
Go ahead.
I want to look to Whistler and kind of gesture to him to talk about Ultriel and to see if this man knows anything, because I don't want to personally say anything because Hellrider, but he's not.
El Terrell? Yeah. So, go ahead, what do you say?
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt this conversation as it is. Would it be okay if I ask about something outside of the city that you might have some information about, or at least I hope you have some information about?
Absolutely. What question do you have?
Are you aware of Ithuriel? It's a small port town not too far from here.
El Terrell?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. It's a major city, the capital of Veltegard. Yeah, what about it?
Yeah. Well, it's recently come to my attention that the city has befallen a very severe fate, and it's in pretty grave danger. Have you heard of anything, or are you aware of anything pertaining to it?
Our information network and the conversations we've held with survivors has indicated that El Terrell has fallen. And while many have conjectured that the city itself was destroyed, there are those that are more of the arcane bent. There are rumors that the city itself was removed and not destroyed.
Who did these rumors?
I'm not someone who spoke with them directly. But I have it on good faith that it is possible that Elturel is not a pile of ash somewhere, but rather removed. So that's all I really have at the moment.
I have almost all of my family was in El Toral. Could you, once we're done with all of this, of course, I'll help with what you need. Could you point me in the direction of someone to speak to? Because my next goal after this will be to travel back to see what happened, or to see if I can do
Absolutely.
anything.
If I find more information in the line of my duties, I'll refer it back to you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Willoughby is going to take Whistel's hand and say, our goal, I'll help.
So,
Thank you,
in
Yosia.
assisting you in this endeavor, along with you collecting the makings of that ring to try to make it through that secret entrance that you had found, a few blocks from the Basilisk Gate is the Elf Song Tavern. I'm sure some of you are aware of it, and some of you maybe not. We have a spy there. Goes by the name of Tarina. She's gathering rumors for the guild and for us here at the Fist. She owes me a favor, so tell her you work for me. I'd love for you to meet her, ask her what she knows about this cult, and for the love of Baldwin, be nice. Tarina has some dangerous friends.
You're
How
worried about
dangerous.
us being nice? You've just revealed your only informant to the 6 newest members of your organization.
She's a
What are
current informant working that I happen to be on good terms with, and in relation to this investigation, she's aware, and that, of course, is not her real name, but she's working alongside me.
Poor.
Sid wants to just gently take Bennings's hand between his two hands and look into his eyes and say, he's just trying to tell you not to stick your foot in your mouth because she might kill you if you do.
I understand you are willing to trust every individual you meet. I, however, am a little more reserved when it comes to my faith. I will not
No.
be mean to this girl. I just feel bad that her identity has been revealed to 6 people who are the newest recruits of this organization. It seems a little insecure.
What you need to think about is
Tyson,
not the fact that you think it is insecure. What you need to think about is the fact that he's comfortable telling the 6 newest recruits about her.
Hey, flaming fists away, whatever you say.
So what I'm saying is she's a dangerous person. If she couldn't take care of herself, we would not know about her.
Whatever you say.
What are you gonna say, Valen?
I is this guy a paladin? The
Yes.
captain? Okay. From one paladin to another, I trust that you're honorable and that we can trust what you're telling us is true, nothing to hide.
I have nothing to hide in this matter. It benefits me greatly if you succeed. If you fail, it's not my men that are dying. I hope you understand.
Bennings, is that enough for you to trust this journey with us?
Why not? Caution to the wind. Let's go for it.
You are such a
I will
distrustful
protect
young
you.
man.
Upon entering this city, I have not seen one act of kindness happen. I've seen bodies. I've seen guards being disloyal to the oaths they swore upon. So forgive me if I'm not freely handing out trust. However, I am trying to do the right thing in joining this organization.
I mean, did you miss all the people taking in refugees and handing out blankets?
And the squirrels letting us sit under their tree?
You,
Yeah,
you
they
bring, you
could've
bring up
food
fair
from the
points, but I fear that has been overshadowed in my mind by the amount of pollution I have seen of human decency.
Bennings,
Are you-
I don't mean to be rude, but why did you come to Baldur's Gate in the first place?
Just trying to see the world and meet people. I don't really have a
You're
goal.
don't take this the wrong way, but you're seeing the wrong spot for you.
Maybe you should have
We-
chosen a different
I
city.
think
Also-
I think you might be better suited for maybe the quaint small country life, but
Hillsbrad is nice,
most
I hear.
cities, most cities like
Unfortunately,
Baldur's Gate
Okay.
is pretty much like this
unfortunately,
24/7.
First of all, I'm from the small country life, so don't be too condescending, because it seems like Bennings can't really take criticism very well. Bennings,
That's why
speaking of
I thought
being
they
able to
shouldn't
take
go into a city like this.
criticism very well. Look at me. I am serious. We are not trying to be mean to you. We are trying to help you.
Balin
You're
steps forward
going
and
about it
says,
a very funny way. I'm just
Benning says,
enough banter. It's what's happening here is not going to get us further, rather than just keep us further apart. We have to find some sort of trust within us to move forward.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get him to understand there are different levels of trust, and we are trusting him.
I
and he doesn't really
understand you
trust
wish
us.
to have for us to trust one another, but for me, trust is not something given upon saying "trust me." It is earned through action.
Well, then
Okay,
let's
what-
have
I- what
try
is
I
going
have
to the
known
tavern.
y'all a combination of like a couple hours. Sid, I have known you longer, yes, but I have just met these other individuals, and one of them is a known felon.
Okay,
You're
first of all,
asking me to trust someone.
see.
who
This
is-
is what I mean. If you say something like that in a city full of felons, listen, look,
Full of felons.
look over from that spire to that spire. Everyone in between, felons, right? If you say that line
I can attest,
in those
Zaj
walls,
says, I can attest that at least 40% of the lower city has been arrested at one point or another.
also, sometimes felons save your ass.
I am not saying this person is a bad individual. I am merely going off the information I have been given at first hand. Can you not see why I might be hesitant?
If they're not a bad individual, for
Don't
being
you
a
dare, Bell. Who's the felon?
then why don't you trust
Literally
them?
said those words out loud. Who's the felon?
I
Anyway, the captain now staring at all of you strangely. Well, I'm sure with this team dynamic, things will go very well.
Smooth.
yes.
I have more pressing matters to attend to when it comes to the city. We're trying to find an actual shelter place we can build for refugees so that they have a more of a outer city area to stay at, and we're procuring a warehouse to get donations for them. I'm going to be spending most of the rest of the evening taking care of these matters. If you need anything else, you can speak to some of my lieutenants. You can find them here at the guardhouse. I have one in the city as well that you could speak with if that's something you would like.
Question, Tyson. Have we been paid our 200 gold yet?
He said he would pay you upon completing the mission.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Willoughby is going to offer 15 gold to help the people.
Oh, a donation early.
I
I
would
will.
do it too, but I don't know how much gold I have.
I will take this after we have the donation center set up. I would hate to lose it. Why don't you keep hold of that for now? Once this is in place, absolutely come down, visit, offer your donation. We will be accepting food, blankets, water, money, anything that could be useful to these individuals. But it is still a little ways off.
I have a question. How far away is Fandolin from here?
Fandolin? Shoot. Like
Long, far? Okay, never
long
mind.
far away. It's like 1,000
Evan
miles.
tells me very far. Yeah. Okay. Sid
How
was gonna
far is
say
Elturel?
you should call. He was gonna give them his parents' address, but it's very far. It won't reach in time to probably help anything.
It's 200 miles from Baldur's Gate to Elturel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
far.
By foot,
Yeah.
that's like a week's long journey.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you
mean,
have
I
a
guess
horse.
they could
but-
teleport. Actually, yeah, you know what? He writes down his parents' address. Is like, send a letter as fast as you can here, and they can get you some money and maybe some supplies.
Well, thank you.
I was
will
gonna
take that as well.
I was gonna ask the captain as well. Being in such a fair, possibly dangerous situation, do you have anything that would help us with this possible journey battle?
I am not entirely certain what to expect, and as such, I don't have anything of value to grant you in the moment. Not to mention that our reserves are currently stretched thin with all of the continual chaos and crises we find ourselves faced with on a day-to-day basis. So, no, unfortunately, I have nothing else to offer at this time. But wear those badges, make your way to the Basilisk Gate, my men will let you through. Please return to me if you have any further information related to the events that are occurring. I will see what I can do to rally up some additional supplies when I see you next, if I can get them.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service to Baldur's Gate. May you be successful, fruitful, and contribute to the well-being of the society here. With that, he dismisses you from the office. We find all of you making your way out into the city and heading towards the Basilisk Gate. Is there anything else you would like to say or do before the end of today's episode?
Again, Thulmars brings up the question: who's the felon?
We see the crew make it to the gate. We see
I
them.
have no idea.
We see them having their badges. The Basilisk Gate opens, and these deputized individuals now move through, working next time towards either finding some way to get a signet ring that matches, that may have some of the same magical qualities that are necessary to get through that gate. Also, potentially moving to the Elfsong Tavern to speak with the spy Tarina. Thank you again for watching, everybody. We're going to go around the table. We'll give our goodbyes, please. Give us your thoughts on today's episode, which is always nice, and then give us any information you would like to share social details if you are out there in the sphere. We'll start this time with Ilmaris. Party time! Why don't you go first,
Everybody?
Marquise?
I'm Marquise, sometimes known as Party Time Online, your internet ex-boyfriend, but don't worry, it was mutual, and I wrote you some great poetry. You can find me on Ballad of the Seven Dice, where I play a Catboy Magus trying to escape from a video game. Also, you can catch me here on concurrent Wednesdays of this game. So when I play Mr. Brightside, who's just here to bring some positivity and light into your life, and maybe some ultra violence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and apparently to like Kabadon like everybody by accident.
Yep.
I threaten people very sexily.
Yeah, the meme of standing in the doorway menacingly, that's Brightside right there.
Yep.
All right, Bennings. Lowell, why don't you go?
Hi, my name's Lowell. I don't do anything. Just play this game. It's fun. Thanks for having me. Bennings is learning how to trust people. Right now, he trusts Valen, given Valen's actions. He's trusting Wistelar just based off of Wistelar's
Vulnerability.
Well, yeah, it reads as very honest. He sees Sid as a suicide bomber in that they just run straight at everything horrible. They're like, yeah, get me in there. That's about it for me.
I mean, coming from a family of heroes, Sid's probably got a little bit of an invincibility complex, I imagine, just a little bit. So, Brian, Wistelar, Atomic, your turn.
Hey, everybody, I'm Atomic, or Brian, or whatever you want to call me. TTV_Comic0 on the Twitters, or whatever the fuck it's called anymore, and Atomic0 on Twitch. Mostly doing podcast-based TTRPGs right now, producing 2 shows that are one's in the recording phase, one's in the production phase, so stay tuned for both of those. One should be launching coming up. So, but I think Wistel was kind of like just following like forward in a way, just going along with what was going on. And then when the rest of the group showed up and then like the news bomb dropped, like they're kind of like they don't even know what's happening anymore. They're completely shattered. They're like they don't know whether they're coming or going, and it's kind of like they're having a hard time to focusing on anything in the present right now. Their mind's completely somewhere else.
Understandable. When your whole family disappears in an instant, I mean, you get a little messed up about that.
It's a big ass family too.
All right, Willamie, Gwen, your turn.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. My name is Gwen, also known as McSherry. I'm often over there in chat as a mod, and also I am part of the Cirque Noir podcast. Keep an ear out for that.
Which will be a
and enjoy it.
podcast soon, I swear.
It will happen. It will absolutely happen. Willamie is kind of the anti-Bennings right now. She trusts everybody based on the fact that she's had such a wholesome life of wandering around the forest and then, traveling as a musician. So these are her new best friends. And if the squirrels accept them, she does too.
All right, Sid, Amy, your turn.
Oh, hi. Thanks for watching. I'm Amy. I'm kitten boxing at most places. I'm also on a podcast called Cornfields and Kobolds. You could listen to it if you felt like it. Sid's just kind of... Man, he thought he was so ready. He had such a handle on things from all the stories and everything he heard, but he did not expect this level of stress. Like... He thought he knew what stress was because he has like 9 brothers and sisters, but this is a dumb amount of stress. And he's having interpersonal problems. It's very interesting. I am loving it. He's probably gonna like have a cry tonight later.
That's probably the right decision at the moment. Speaking of having a cry, Valen, Clint, your turn.
Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. My name is Clint. You can find me at Clint on Twitch. I do stream video games and really kind of getting my feet wet into the role-playing stuff here, and I love it. Valen is in this really confused spot where, like, the person that he devoted his life to just disappeared, and so he's kind of desperate to find any opportunity to figure out what happened, and trusting people that he doesn't know is part of that journey. And he's also like 200 some odd years old, so he has a pretty good judgment on people. So this is a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And that's the game for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We will be returning to more Hellriders the 13th of April. So come see us then, and we'll pick up with session 2. Until then, be awesome, be yourselves, have fun, and we'll see you around next time. Bye, everybody.